He knew nothing about his crimes.
I don't know how many times I had to say I did not know Jeffrey Epstein. I never went to his island. I never went to his homes. I never went to his offices.
Republican Committee Chairman James Comer of Kentucky.
I think this was a productive deposition today. I think we learned a lot.
CBS's Erica Brown on What's Next.
Former President Bill Clinton is expected to testify Friday, and Chairman Comer denied the Clintons' request to conduct the questioning in public, but said he may consider a public hearing at a later time.
The White House confirms U.S. citizens were aboard the stolen speedboat involved in a deadly shooting with the Cuban Coast Guard yesterday. CBS's Linda Kenyon.
Secretary of State Marco Rubio confirms the U.S. is investigating the incident, while Havana's deputy foreign minister also says U.S. government authorities have expressed their willingness to cooperate in clarifying what he called these regrettable events. Cuba says the boat, intercepted off its north coast, was carrying 10 armed passengers and that they intended to carry out an incursion for the purposes of terrorism. One of the 4 people killed was a U.S. citizen. Another citizen was among the injured. The boat's owner says he suspected it was stolen by an employee with family in Cuba. Linda Kenyon, CBS News, the White House.
The U.S. and Iran have wrapped up a third round of nuclear talks in Geneva as the Trump administration weighs possible military action if no deal is reached on Iran's nuclear program. CBS's Natalie Brand.
President Trump's son-in-law and special envoy Steve Witkoff sat down with Oman's foreign minister Thursday, who's mediating the nuclear talks between the U.S. and Iran. He said they've finished the day after significant progress and said discussions on a technical level will take place next week.
The Tucson area house where authorities believe Nancy Guthrie was abducted in the middle of the night will be returned to her family, according to a CBS News law enforcement source. CBS's Jonathan Vigliotti reports.
From an investigative perspective, it means that this crime scene has been processed. It is now clear the Guthrie family, if they choose to do so, can return back without any restrictions. It's unclear if they will return back to the home.
Netflix declines to raise an offer for Warner Brothers, saying the deal is no longer financially attractive. This after Warner Brothers said CBS News parent company, Paramount Skydance, has made a revised superior proposal. Anthropic CEO says the AI company cannot in good conscience accede to the Pentagon's demands to allow wider use of its tech. This is CBS News.
What is going on?
What's going on here?
How is this possible?
Great storytelling starts here.
Oh, come on.
Why? It's time for 60 Minutes.
Coming up, Seattle police arrest multiple teenagers with guns in separate cases. The story's coming up after Nate Connors at the traffic desk.
And this one's brought to us by Seattle Sports. Sound Transit's 2 line is suspended between Linwood and Northgate due to signal issues. No estimated time when this will be resolved. In the meantime, passengers can still take the 1 line. Up in Everett, North 5, we're crowded between the Boeing Freeway and Highway 2, and eastbound on the Boeing Freeway still jams up at Evergreen Way over to I-5. Linwood to Seattle, we're at 20 minutes. You're all clear until you get to the Ship Canal Bridge, where it's packed in the downtown. North 5, scattered backups now approaching the West Seattle Bridge, almost around that Michigan curve, really, up to the Ship Canal Bridge. Some clearing in between, half hour now to clear downtown. South 405 is bumper to bumper from Southeast 8th and Bellevue down to Coal Creek Parkway, 25 minutes from Bellevue to Renton. North 405 slows through the Renton S-curves, and we've still got this car fire in Tacoma. It's North 5 at State Route 16, blocking the right lane on the collector distributor. The fire is out, but the blockage is still there. Download the Seattle Sports app to stay in the know with the latest news, scores, and opinions about your favorite teams. KIRO Newsradio Real-Time Traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon, I'm Aaron Granillo. Seattle police say a drunk 16-year-old boy shot up a Capitol Hill pizza parlor early this morning. KIRO News Radio's James Lynch has those details.
Detectives say the boy was drinking with a fake ID at the Pizza Mart Bar and Grill on 11th Avenue. Security escorted him from the parlor, and once outside and in a car, police say he opened fire. SPD Detective Eric Munoz.
Multiple people on video surveillance were seen running and ducking for their lives. It's a miracle that none of them were actually shot.
Shortly after the shooting, police say the boy tried to carjack an Uber driver. He faces assault, robbery, and gun charges. James Lynch, KIRO News Radio.
Meantime, Seattle police are still searching for 2 people after shots fired in the Mount Baker neighborhood. Officers say they found and arrested two teenage felons that were involved in yesterday's shooting. KIRO 7 TV's Brooke Griffin has more.
Officers say that one of them had a gun with an extended magazine and a switch that converts it into an automatic weapon. Both teens were arrested for unlawful possession of a firearm since they both used that gun.
Police say the 16 and 17-year-old suspects are in jail today. Washington Department of Licensing calls it an error after video resurfaced of a glitch with its automated phone service. Callers choosing the Spanish language option were instead met with English prompts with an accent.
If you have a valid Washington driver's license or illegal and a social security number, press 1.
DOL has apologized and says it is upgrading the self-service feature and will not bring it back until every language is tested. Entering his 5th season in the big leagues, Julio Rodriguez sees this season as his best shot yet to win a World Series. Julio tells Brock and Salk on 710 Seattle Sports it's been a long journey to get to this point.
It hasn't been overnight. It's been a process. It's been, a lot of tough losses, a lot of, reevaluation, a lot of doubts, a lot of different things. But, now we're here.
And Seattle is one of the favorites to win the World Series. Their journey begins at T-Mobile Park. Opening day now 1 month away. To your weather updates, looking at a mix of clouds and sunshine this afternoon and some showers, mainly along the coast and over the Olympic Peninsula. Right now, 50 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with the KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Hi, you've reached the John Curley Show listener introduction line.
Yes.
Please tell us a little bit about yourself and why you enjoy the show.
Positive.
Thank you.
Let's be positive.
It is February 25th, I believe.
All right.
I'm listening to the first segment where John is talking about AI taking over.
Mm-hmm.
And I am doubling down on my idea that John is a hippie.
Oh, this guy again.
Getting back to nature, getting all horny. Yep. John's a hippie.
I'll accept it now.
Got you there.
I'll accept it now. I'm all right with that. That's what it's about. Getting down with nature. Getting all horny about nature.
No complaints for me.
All right. You are a hippie, too. You're wearing off on me, Joe. All right, here we go. You ready for the jump?
I have nookie, and I don't want to die.
That's it. Because you want to procreate and not die. Or die in the middle of it, right? Like Rockefeller. You know that story. Look it up. His secretary.
All right.
Very mysterious.
Wow, that's a tease.
Smile on his face, not on hers. All right, David. Playing a little blue here in the afternoon.
Oh, man.
Muckleshoot Casino Resort text line. I think they still want to sponsor the show. 1-888-973-5476. Perfectly timed. Thank you, Andrew. 801. This is the phone number for voicemail if you'd like to start off our show. Be like, hey, look, I broke into radio. This is how Aaron got started.
That's right.
801-575-5532. 801-575-5532. Call before midnight tonight. Operators are standing by. Call before midnight tonight.
Call in the next 10 minutes and we'll throw in a cheese grater.
It's like, call before midnight tonight, like the sense of urgency. And operators are standing by. We can't afford chairs. We spent so much money on this product, the operators had to stand. All right. Let's see. I'll accept that the guy says that I'm a hippie, and I'm also going to officially accept the fact that I am now an old man. I turned into an old man at about 8:15 this morning while walking down East Lake. Officially an old man.
Congrats.
I'll tell you about that in a second. Plus, also, yes, Baywatch is back. Yes. In fact, they are casting now 2,000 wannabe lifeguards, all to go back. I don't know if they're going to do it the same way they did before, but it was amazing. Baywatch, when it was produced, it had the lowest budget, is the cheapest show to produce, but it had the highest grossing revenue. It was sold around the world, and I'll tell you the secret to how they were able to do that. And oh, my goodness gracious, House Majority Leader, I guess celebrating the fact that they were able to pass so many bills, and maybe it was a celebratory moment that the House Majority Leader was able to share with us. I'll drink to that. Hey, let's screw the rich guys. Yeah, F those millionaires. Has he apologized?
Yeah, I believe he said it won't happen again.
Okay. No happen again on camera. Mm-hmm. And then real quick, we will also talk about, are we Cleveland? Is Seattle turning into Cleveland? And when the article came out on GeekWire, somehow somebody in Cleveland saw it, I guess the mayor, and somebody said, whoa, wait a minute. Hold on a second. They'll be dumping on Cleveland. You don't know Cleveland until you know Cleveland. And if you knew Cleveland like I know Cleveland, I'm paraphrasing, we're in a good spot. And then you say, looks like Seattle could be what Cleveland was, and Cleveland is what Seattle needs to be. There you go. Whew, it took a lot out of me. And then also, so there was a pension that was set up. I think it was 1977, somewhere in there. There's a pension that was set up for firemen and police, and it basically said, listen, we'll put the money in. At a certain point, they cut it off. There's no more people additionally getting into the pension. I think it was 91, off from memory. So nobody else can get in. So it's closed. So what that did, it's allowed them to not have to have new members coming in, not have to have pensions for everybody. And they hit it. They hit their goal. They got 100% of what they need for the firemen and the police that are there. Well, the folks in Olympia are like, hey, look at all this money sitting over here. Why don't we take some of that money out of that pension? Yeah, those firemen and police, they'll be fine. Don't worry about it. We'll just take some of the money. Well, now there's a lawsuit. And former sheriff and former Congressman Dave Reicher is going to join us to talk about all of that. Okay, let me tip for, all right, I was thinking. So how did I know I had officially turned into an old man? There was a young lady walking towards me on East Lake Avenue, and she had a little package and a dog. She's walking, and as she walked by, I said, good morning. I say good morning, everybody. And she smiled at me, and I paused for a moment. I said, you have a beautiful smile. She goes, well, thank you. I said, well, you're welcome. Have a good day. And off she went. I thought, that is the type of thing an old guy says. Because if you're a younger person, they're like, yeah, that's kind of creepy, right? But old men can officially get away with it. And when she looked at me with a smile on her face, like, thank you, old man, I was like, there, it's good to be an old guy. Because you can say stuff like that without there being some sort of hidden, weird, gross guy stuff attached to it. Old guys can get away with a whole bunch of stuff. Not that I'm going to turn into my dad and start saying slightly racist things that he doesn't even realize are racist, or pointing out who's Jewish in a restaurant. That's old guy stuff. I'm just talking about just generally not being a threat to any woman under the age of 40, I guess. But the good thing is I'm fully embracing this because I've already sort of been like the old guy. My kids hated the fact that I would talk to everybody. I love talking to people. Any sort of story I can get, any kind of time I can sort of hang out with somebody and just find somebody just to chat with. My kids are like, Dad, why does everybody have to have a story to be told? I said, because Chuck. Right. Everybody's got a story. Everybody wants to tell their story. If somebody would just say, so how are you doing? Like today when I went to the doctor and I said to the doctor, she goes, well, how are you doing? And I said, well, wait a minute. It's more importantly, how are you doing? In fact, that was the same question I asked Dr. Stern, who did my facelift. About to go in there. I'm going to go under the knife for 5 hours. And he goes, so how you doing? You feeling pretty good about this? I said, hell with me. What about you? I'm going to be asleep the whole time. How are you doing? You're the guy with the scalpel and all the other stuff. How are you feeling? Because really, your state of mind is far more important than mine. And he paused for a moment. He said, you know what? No one has ever asked me that. I said, well, I think that is really essential. You ask the same thing of a pilot or anybody else. How are you doing? It certainly opens up a whole world. And it was nice to know that Dr. Stern said, I'm feeling great, having a good day, looking forward to doing this. I said, let's go in there. Slice me up. I'll tell you a story about a couple weeks ago, right? We're in New York City. I'll read part of it, and the rest I'll try to just off the top of my head. We got off the E stop at 53rd and 5th. We climbed as a belch of intestinal stink came from the subway system that enveloped us. It's that classic New York scent of urine, motor oil, exhaust, hot dogs. Always hot dogs. At Christmas time, you can mix in some chestnuts, but always hot dogs. It's a warm puff of air that seems to hang onto you as you ascend onto the street. It's disgusting, but at least it's warm. I pulled my wool hat down, tightened the scarf to prepare for the wind. I don't know if it's the angle of the building that sharpens the wind over the gray January sky. I don't know. Something seems to just sort of claw at you as it rushes past to assault another bundled stranger next to you. Oh boy, I say to Charlie, my daughter. As I pull her in towards me, I go to put my arm around her to protect her, but I realize I've lost my glove on the subway, and a father's love is no match to frostbite, so I push her away. What time should I meet you back here? She says 1:30. She raises her voice over the sound of a passing cop car. The lights change, and off she goes. She's going for a hair appointment. I'm supposed to meet her back in an hour, so I head back up on 5th. How was your day? Have a blessed day. How was your day? A black man is sitting on a piece of cardboard on the edge of a concrete slab. He's greeting everybody, waiting for the light to change. How's your day? Have a blessed day. How's your day? I turn to him. I look at him. His pants are black or dark blue. Doesn't really matter. They're so dirty. I'm just a guess. I'm going to go dark blue. A hat, 2 coats, gloves, and boots that look like they're made out of iron ore. No one else is looking in his direction. He sees me. Have a blessed day. I said, are you? Every day. Every day. Really? Every day? Yes, champ. He smiles. So sit down. I sit down. He moves over. We share the cardboard together. So you sit here and you wish passersby a blessed day. He pauses me for a moment. Have a blessed day. He's panhandling, but in a really soft touch. 4 tourists are waiting for the light to change. Have a good day. They don't look back at him. Does this work? Yeah, it works. I said, how often? Like, what do you get? 50-50? Tourists? Locals? How often? I don't know. Some days make 10, some 30. Sometimes I make $100. Got a smoky ass? No, I don't, but I've got a Zin. 6 milligrams, I warn him. It's like nicotine, but it's not going to kill you as fast as the cigarettes, I think. He pops it in his mouth before I can give him any instructions. Pah! Damn, boss! Spits it out. He reaches for a plastic bottle that has water in it to rinse the Zin out of his mouth, but it's empty. I apologize. I go to offer him a name, at least I could do since I almost poisoned him. He tells me his name is Walter, and here now is his story. He's 57. He's been homeless for 2 years. His mother had a stroke. He found her on the bathroom floor. He'd never seen anybody having a stroke before, but he knew something about your arms and hands get all twisted. She was able to talk, and she told him she needed help, a lot of help, and would he please call the ambulance. He was there as the ambulance came, and he was surprised that the guys driving the ambulance were so out of shape that they had to stop at the bottom of the floor in order to carry his mother even further down, and she wasn't even that big to begin with. She went to the hospital and spent some time there, came back, and then he had to take care of her. She had worked for the city for more than 27 years and had the apartment for that long. He had to quit his job and take care of her. How was that, I asked. Well, I figured she had done so many things for me when I was a baby, wiping my ass and cleaning me up. I figured I could do the same thing for her because I love her. I watched her die in that room, and within a couple of weeks, I didn't have a place to live anymore. I was homeless. She had the apartment, I was told by lawyers or some lawyer group or something, some nonprofit that's supposed to help you out somewhere along the way, that I'm supposed to get her pension because she's got the pension. I just need to get the pension, then I can get the apartment back. I said, well, why can't you just get a job somewhere? No one's going to hire you when you put down your address on the application that you live above a steam grate. Really? No one will hire you? Walter, you're outgoing and kind and funny, and you got lots of energy. You could sit here in the street corner and talk to strangers. No one will hire you? Not without an address. I'm just stuck here for a while. Well, why don't you stay in a shelter or something? I don't need a shelter. I don't want to go into shelter. I'm going to get the pension. Somebody's going to get it for me. It's a lot of money. Once I get that back, then I'm going to be able to get back into an apartment again and get back on my feet again. But it's been about 2 years since I worked. I noticed he was still struggling with the taste of the Zin that was in his mouth. So I figured, hey, can I go get you some water or something? He said, yeah, could you give me some lunch? I said, sure. What would you like? Chicken sandwich would be good. Put it on like, not toast, but like on a bun, but not like a big thick bun. And don't leave it next to it with mayonnaise on it. I don't want a lot of mustard on it either. If they put mustard on it, tell them not to put mustard on it. I tell them, hey, Walter, for Christ, I'm going to get you something. How about I just get you, well, how about just some cigarettes and water? Yeah, that'll be good. That's good. That's good. This thing, leave a taste in my mouth. All right, Walter, I'll be back. I head up 5th, and I realize there's probably not going to be one of those places that sells cigarettes and water anywhere, so I have to cross over 2 streets. I'm about 10, 15 blocks away from where Walter was. I give my daughter the credit card, so I need to get cash out of the cash machine. My plan was to get the cigarettes and water and also buy some gloves. I stopped in Zara, which sells a whole bunch of cheap stuff. I found gloves, and I thought, you know what? I don't really need these gloves. I had $100 in my pocket. I got the water, and I got the cigarettes, and I was able to pay with my ATM card. So I still had the cash in my pocket. I walked back, and I was lucky to see Walter was still sitting there. How's it going? Are you having a blessed day still? He smiled. Just, hey, Michael. I told him my real name. I don't like my name, John. Michael, how you ready? You ready? What you got? And I got your water, got your cigarettes. I said, you get your own chicken sandwich. He goes, I'm going to go home soon anyway. And I stopped. I said, hey, Walter, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to give you $100. I'm going to give you $100 for this reason only. Not because I feel sorry for you. Not because I feel guilty that you're black and I'm white and I got $100 and you don't. I'm going to give you $100 because you taught me a lesson today. Because when I asked you how you're doing and you're sitting on the sidewalk and it's 4 degrees out, you said, I am having a great day. I am blessed. Every day I am blessed. I said, Walter, you taught me that I am blessed too. I'm going to go meet my daughter. I'm sure she's going to look beautiful. And hopefully we come back around this corner. You're still sitting here because I want you to meet her. I told Charlie about Walter, and we actually did move a little faster than we normally would. We crossed one of the streets even though the light was red. And unfortunately, we came around. He wasn't there, which is probably good for Walter. Not good for Charlie. I wanted him to meet her. But he's probably somewhere warm right now. It's nice to ask somebody how they're doing. Gong. There you go.
Oh, Walsh.
Huh?
I don't. Did you mention in the story, and I was a little sidetracked, that you gave him $100?
Yeah, I did.
Okay, good.
Yeah. Yeah, I knew. Believe me, I didn't think he'd still be there after I gave him a $100.
Okay.
Yeah, I could have bought the gloves and they've been like, I got gloves at home. I had a great time sitting there with him. It's so funny because he's watching different people go by. I said, tourist or local? That guy's local. I said, is that going to give you money? He going to give you money? I'm having a bad day. I said, really good. Man, people don't want to stop and talk. It's too cold. It was like 4 degrees out, you know? Oh, it was great. Sitting there chatting. So there's an example. There's a guy, right? Took care of his mom, lost the apartment, you know. One more story. I said, what about all the programs they had? Programs. Anyway, there's Nate checking traffic. Nathan.
Here I am. Sound Transit's 2 line is suspended this afternoon between Linwood and Northgate due to signal issues. So in the meantime, you can take the 1 line. Up in Everett, North 5, we're still crowded from the Boeing Freeway to Highway 2. And then eastbound on the Boeing Freeway slows from almost from the Boeing plant over to I-5. It gets really thick there at Evergreen Way. Seattle to Linwood, 25 minutes. Bellevue to Linwood, about the same at a half hour. Both looking pretty good. South 5 looking good heading into Seattle. You will jam up on the Ship Canal Bridge in the downtown. North 5, we've got scattered backups between the West Seattle Bridge and the Ship Canal Bridge. Half hour from bridge to bridge. Seattle to Federal Way, 35, 40 minutes. You've got your usual backups starting at Inner Urban Avenue. Renton to Puyallup on the Valley Freeway is a 45-minute drive. We have a new collision now at Ellingson Road there, blocking your left lane. And in Shelton, northbound 3 at milepost 4, that's just north of the city limits. A collision's blocking that northbound lane, so we're alternating at the scene, and you've got about 2-mile backups in either direction. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
Your tax return is one of the most important financial documents you produce each year. Have you ever looked at it and wondered, what else could you do to minimize your taxes? John Curley here from Madrona Financial 1040 Treasure Hunt Workshop. This is a hands-on tax planning workshop that helps you use your 1040 tax return to uncover tax reduction strategies, avoiding future tech surprises, and to plan ahead with confidence. And once you know what to look for, you can make smarter moves next year and beyond. Now, this is the 1040 Treasure Hunt Workshop. It's going to be at 6 p.m. March 3rd. Madrona Financial's Kirkland office. This free hands-on event will expose ways to pay less in taxes and to plan for your future. If you want fewer surprises and more control, this workshop is a great place to start. So Tuesday, March 3rd, 6 p.m. Now, seats fill up fast for these. You want to RSVP by calling 833-673-7373. That's 833-673-7373. Or visit madronafinancial.com/events to grab your seat today. This is a paid advertisement. Investment involves risk. See full disclosures at madronafinancial.com.
KIRO News Radio, where you turn for the news you depend on.
Two competing budget proposals.
Senators want to be aggressive, they say.
Traffic.
We have a stall on westbound 16.
Conversation.
If they pass this thing and Governor Ferguson signs it into law, I think there's going to be a mass political sea change in Washington State.
And your Super Bowl champion Seahawks.
They're bringing it home again.
Broadcasting live from the KIRO News Radio YouTube channel. KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM.
Guys, did you know your testosterone affects everything in your system, including how you feel and perform every day? Right now, Revive Men's Health Seattle will check your testosterone for free. Knowing your T levels is the first step in understanding if you have low T. Your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED. Maintaining an appropriate T level can change your whole life. Most men start to see changes in their hormone levels in their 30s. Experience and results matter. So what are you waiting for? Get your T levels checked today by local, experienced, and trusted men's health experts. They've helped thousands of men since 2011. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Call Revive today and schedule your free testosterone test, free exam, and free consultation. Call Revive Men's Health at 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit revivemenshealth.com.
Are you curious about who offers the best deals on top-rated Samsung, LG, and Sony TVs? The answer is surprising. It's not online, and it's not the warehouse clubs. The best deals on top-rated TVs are at Video Only. Don't believe it? Then check out the trade-in deals at Video Only. How about $500 for your old TV? Try doing that online. Before you buy that new TV, drop into Video Only. If you don't, you'll be sorry.
You know, it's frustrating. You work your tail off for 40 plus years. The government takes 30 or 40% in taxes. Then they turn right around and waste it. Americans are getting fed up, and that's why they're taking advantage of tax planning. Charlie Harger here. Tax planning could significantly reduce your taxes, not just for 1 year, but for the rest of your life. Learn how much you could save in taxes when you retire with free retirement tax savings analysis from Boss Retirement Solutions. If you've saved more than $300,000, schedule your free analysis now by calling 206-210-1350. Don't pay the government one more dime than you need to. You need to call the team at Boss Retirement Solutions. Call 206-210-1350. 206-210-1350.
For informational purposes only, actual results may vary. No statement contained herein shall constitute tax, legal, or investment advice.
Meet Matthew Preston. Inside his apartment, everything he holds dear is protected by Progressive's renter's insurance, like his laptop and a surprisingly valuable collection of baseball bobbleheads. Outside his apartment, his laptop is still protected, as are his bobbleheads, which he carries around with him for reasons no one knows. Renters, the limits of protection aren't just the four walls of your home. When you're in Progressive's Protection Zone, get a quote at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and third-party insurers.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can I make my site softer?
Can I make my site firmer?
Can we sleep cooler?
Sleep Number does that. Cools up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side, your Sleep Number setting. Enjoy personalized comfort for better sleep night after night. And now, during our President's Day sale, take 50% off our limited edition bed, plus an extra $100 off all mattresses. And Saturday, only at a Sleep Number store or sleepnumber.com.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon. I'm Aaron Granello. The Washington House Majority Leader offers an apology after admitting he attended a committee meeting after he'd been drinking. Video shows Representative Joe Fitzgibbon slurring his words.
With that, Mr. Chair, I really want to thank you for your work, and I want to ask you to vote yes.
Republican Michelle Valdez tells Seattle Reds Jason Rantz.
Something that I had heard from a number of members was that they believed that he'd been drinking and they could smell the alcohol. I could not smell any alcohol.
Now, Fitzgibbon says he made a poor choice and that he is disappointed in himself. You can read more about it and see that video on SeattleRed.com. Former congressman and sheriff is leading a lawsuit against state lawmakers. Dave Reichert wants to stop them from reallocating funds from a police and firefighter pension plan. KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey explains.
Reichert tells me thousands of retired first responders who have pension plans under the Law Enforcement Officers and Firefighters Retirement System just aren't willing to stand by and watch lawmakers try and take their hard-earned money.
We're taking it personally, and they've just taken advantage of about 5,500 retirees left in the system.
Democrat sponsors of House Bill 2034 say the plan is currently overfunded. The bill would move more than $550 million to the Climate Commitment Account and the remainder to the state's general fund. Luke Ducey, KIRO News Radio.
Everett Mayor Cassie Franklin has issued a directive restricting federal immigration agents from city facilities without a warrant. She also reaffirms that local police will not ask about people's immigration status.
I also expect our officers to intervene if it's safe to do so to protect our residents when they witness federal officers using unnecessary force.
Her order takes effect immediately. Major recall now underway after tests found possible listeria contamination in more than 550,000 pounds of frozen blueberries. The Oregon Potato Company issued that recall earlier this month. FDA now classifies it as a serious health risk that could cause death. The berries were not sold in stores, but they were shipped in bulk to distributors in 4 states. That includes Washington and also Canada. Anyone who may have gotten sick is urged to contact the FDA's emergency line. Now to the real-time traffic desk. We check in with Nate Connors.
All right, thanks, Aaron. This report is brought to us by D.R. Horton. Okay, we are, first of all, Sound Transit's 2 line is suspended this afternoon between Linwood and North Cape. That just occurred maybe about a half hour ago due to signal issues, so passengers, you'll need to take that one line in the meantime. South 5 heading into Seattle looking good until you get to the Ship Canal Bridge. From there, it is packed into downtown. North 5, we have scattered backups from the West Seattle Bridge to the Ship Canal Bridge. It's a half hour from bridge to bridge. Bellevue to Renton is gone up to a half hour. It's really thick from mid-Bellevue now down to Cold Creek Parkway before you start to thin out. Seattle to Federal Way, plan on 40 minutes. You've got your typical backup starting at Interurban Avenue. Renton to Puyallup on the Valley Freeway has gone up a bit to 50 minutes, but we did clear that crash already at Ellingson Road in Algona. And out towards Shelton, northbound 3, just north of the city limits near milepost 4. A collision blocks that northbound lane. You're alternating at the scene. D.R. Horton has new homes and communities across Puget Sound and Central Washington ready for you. Visit drhorton.com, America's builder and equal housing opportunity builder. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
Thank you, Nate. And now to your forecast. We're seeing mainly clear skies, at least dry conditions, unless you're on the coast. Some light showers there over the Olympic Peninsula. The highs today in the low to mid-50s. We're up to 54 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Home Cover Alliance. Very mysterious sounding music here.
I know this one.
Yeah, it's because it's heating and cooling. A good feeling they also do electric. Yes, it's Home Cover Alliance. Home Cover Alliance. Heating. Cooling. Plumbing. Then electric. Okay, stop it. You're toying with us again.
These are just bumpers. You want me to give you bad bumpers?
No. I can't stop myself. All right, Baywatch is back. Apparently, the guy Cody. I didn't watch the show as closely as Joe did. The guy who played Cody, David Chakachi. He's 58 years old. He was telling the producers, friends of his, that he said, everywhere I go, people are always like, oh, man, you got to bring Baywatch back. You got to bring it back. People want it back. He goes, everywhere I go, people are like, hey, you're Cody. Is Baywatch coming back? I was like, yeah, I'm sure everybody's stopping him, right, on that sort of stuff. You think we're going to invade Iran? And when is Baywatch coming back? Oh. Show was like 38 years ago or something, 35 years ago. Well, the good news is Cody, the guy who played Cody, David Kachachki or whatever, he got his way because the producer's like, you're absolutely right. There's a groundswell of people that want Baywatch back again. So more than 2,000 actors have shown up. Get on the show.
A lot of excitement here in Marina del Rey for the open casting call for Baywatch. I'm here with Calder and Cade. They're both auditioning. So, Calder, I'll start with you.
Calder and Cade. They've got to be from California.
Of course.
Yeah. Calder and Cade.
If you can talk about your thoughts being part of this open casting call.
Yeah, so me and Cade came here.
Me and Cade, already we're off to a bad start. It's not me and Cade. Cade and I. We. Okay. Anyway, keep going.
We actually didn't have a time slot, so we decided to get here really early in the morning, get some coffee in, and they let us in. So
good chai latte. It's like anyway. Hello.
Pretty cool. But yeah, I mean, my grandma was a big fan of the show, and so I want to come, and yeah, it's special to me. So I'm just glad to be here.
So you're hoping for series regular, or what are you hoping for?
Of course. Ideally, yes. Yeah. Right. But I mean, anything on Baywatch would be fun. Yeah, I'll be the shark if you need one. Yeah.
He said he'll even be the shark, and I am down with that too. I remember I said an extra shark, whatever you need. So a lot of.
But don't forget to go to the girl now. Hold on.
Exactly. Good looking shark.
Wow.
I'll send it back to you.
Gosh. You too. What's your number, Coco? I saw you do the slow-mo run.
I didn't see it. I missed your run.
Oh, back to the actors?
I should do it again.
Can you do a hair flip?
Oh, you're high. See, I told you I'm perfect for an extra.
What are you doing with your hands?
Oh, my God.
What is that?
Even the guy, Calder, is like, you guys are dumb.
Flare. It's like you're
okay, Joe, how much longer, right? Stop it. Okay. All right, here's the kind of fun secret about Baywatch when it was shot in Hawaii. They had the lowest operating budget. And I remember we did a story on them, and we talked to one of the producers or executive producers, and he said, yeah, we spend the least amount of money to produce this show, but we make the most amount of money because it's played all around the world, because you don't need complicated scripts to, even in another language. And when I said, well, how is it that you're able to keep your costs down? He goes, well, we just shoot real fast. And one of the things is we just don't use a lot of extras. So how many extras? If we could get away with 5 or 6 for the entire show, we're happy with that. And then I got a chance to be an extra. He said, so we're going to use you for the first scene. You're going to be on the beach, and then we're going to have you as a waiter. And then after that, we're going to have you, I think probably, where do we have the guy after the guy from Movie Magazine? You waiter on the beach. Oh, you're going to be a medic. I was like, maybe when I was being a waiter during the day, I went to, a medic school at night or something. I'm trying to get the backstory, getting ready for you really get into character. So the first thing is you got shorts. They gave me like shorts and stuff. So I step onto the beach and they're going to shoot this scene. I'm supposed to just walk by as the guys, they're having some really intense dialogue about something. And the assistant director says, you got to go see makeup. So I go over to makeup because, first of all, I'm Irish, so you can practically see right through me, right? Like, is that his spleen? So I'm blue colored. Everybody else is tan. So they spray me down. Then I go back up. The guy goes, go check hair and makeup, see if you're okay. So I go back to the assistant director, and he goes, tell him you need a darker shade. Because I'm like, you can see some of the blue coming through the brown. So I go back. The lady sprays me again. She goes, you want abs? I go, yeah. So then she sprays on with spray abs. No, I got abs. And then I go back again. The guy goes, I don't have any more layers of paint we can put on you. Why don't we do this? You go out in the water. So then I go, how far out? And the guy's got a bullhorn. Keep going further out. Go further out. But I was upset because at this point I'm in the water and my abs are coming off. And then he says, then they got the bullhorn. Guy, just go further out. I realized I'm the guy that's supposed to drown.
Did you?
Yeah, I just was like, they had me wave, and then they ran out to save me, but they cut that part of it.
Oh.
And I was waving like this. And then luckily they saved me so I could go on to be a waiter and a medic.
Oh, you did get it. So they didn't cut all your parts.
No. You saw me in the scene drowning. Then you see me only in the background as a waiter. And as a medic, I'm off to the side next to the ambulance.
Do you have any frame of reference as to what season it was? Or how
I don't know. It was during the winter months because I was very pale. As opposed to the spring and summer months where I'm not quite as pale. I'm just building up various pieces of basal skin cancer.
We got to find that.
Running down the road. I didn't have to run. I just had to walk. It was great. It was really fun. And seeing how quickly they shoot the stuff. And everything was product placement. That's how they also made all their money as well. It'd be like, Steve's in trouble. Somebody hand me the Nokia phone so I can call him, and then I'll get into my Jeep Wrangler and drive over there. I just hope my Banana Joe flip-flops don't fly off. It's like the script was like everything was just all of this, ridiculous stuff. Not just product placement, but like product placement said out loud.
Was that during the David Hasselhoff era?
Yes.
It was.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Wow.
Pamela Anderson.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Back when the show was good.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so me and Cade came here. We actually didn't have a time slot, so we decided to get here really early in the morning, got some coffee in, and they let us in. So, pretty cool. But yeah, I mean,
you know people like that, don't you?
Hundreds.
Not like Nate, though. Nate's not like that.
No.
Comes Nate checking traffic. Nathan?
Yes, sir. Gig Harbor, westbound 16 at Olympic Drive. You got a new crash blocking your left lane. That's got you bumper to bumper backed up to 24th Street. And then eastbound 16 in Tacoma, right at I-5, a collision blocks the right lane of the on-ramp. We've got a tow on scene here, so this should clear soon. We still have a closure northbound 3 north of Shelton near milepost 4, so traffic is alternating at the scene. Renton to Puyallup on the Valley Freeway, still hanging on at 45 minutes. Turns out we still have this collision at Ellingson Road blocking the right lane. South 5 into Seattle, we're looking good. You're going to eventually jam up there at the Ship Canal Bridge in the downtown. And North 5, we have our typical afternoon backups between the West Seattle Bridge and the Ship Canal Bridge, taking you about a half hour to from bridge to bridge. The lake bridges are all clear. Westbound 520 does jam up at the Arboretum. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
Choke Points with Chris Sullivan.
With Choke Points, we try to answer listeners' questions. It can be as simple as a neighborhood stop sign, or it can be as big as the budget for transportation. I don't care. I'll find the answer for you. It's really easy to get a hold of me at mynorthwest.com. We have a direct link there that gets right to me. You can also do it in the app. You can hit me up on the text line.
Choke Points, presented by Carter Subaru. Tuesdays and Thursdays on KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM.
You're losing your hair and you simply need a solution that works. You want the best. Modern technology, top-rated physicians, something that's guaranteed to work. Guys, you need world-class Dr. Perungo and his team at Advanced Hair. Advanced Hair has completely redefined hair restoration. From the experience itself to their unmatched results. Receding hairline, bald spot, thinning hair, maybe all three like I had. Get your hair back with Advanced Hair's simple one-day treatment that begins to regrow your own natural hair the very next day. Advanced Hair has changed tens of thousands of lives, including mine. And get this, Advanced Hair is once again the winner of the 425 Business of the Year. For your free consultation, call 425-449-8185. Right now, you'll get $250 off and 250 free hair grafts. Refine your hairline with the team that redefined hair restoration. That's 425-449-8185. Or for the before and afters, visit advancedhair.com.
Thanks for calling CM Heating.
Aren't you the company that gives away free furnaces?
That's us. Buy a qualifying high-efficiency cooling system and the furnace is free.
Wow.
Yeah, and our home comfort advisors are tax credit and rebate specialists, so they'll handle the rebate for you.
Go to CM Heating for better comfort, lower bills, and a free furnace you'll love for years. Get your free estimate for furnace replacement at cmheating.com. And remember, for furnaces, fireplaces, hot water, and total home comfort, including electrical, there's no beating CM Heating.
Xfinity Tech Support. Matthew speaking.
Hi, I live in a pretty remote place, like Jurassic Park remote. Whoa!
Wow.
Will Xfinity Mobile work out here?
Yep, the combination of reliable Wi-Fi and 5G makes it so that you can stay connected in all kinds of places. Plus, you get access to ultra-fast speeds and coverage, whether you're poolside or out live streaming with a T-Rex.
Hold still, you're about to go viral.
Welcome to a new era of Wi-Fi boosted mobile. Cut your mobile bill in half with 2 lines of unlimited. Discover a new era of Wi-Fi boosted mobile at xfinitymobile.com. Xfinity. Imagine that. Watch Jurassic Park with Xfinity. Savings comparison based on promotional rate for 2 lines of Xfinity Mobile Unlimited versus 2 lines of T-Mobile Experience More, Verizon Unlimited Plus, and AT&T Starter as of February 10th, 2026.
So, how's your research going?
Surprising! After I figured out the top-rated TVs in our price range, I went shopping for deals.
And who's the best?
It wasn't the internet, and it wasn't the warehouse club.
But?
It was video only. They had better deals on the Samsung, LG, and the Sony TVs that got the highest scores.
Better than online and at the club?
I know! Video only beat them all. And now we can afford an even better model for the same price. My research really paid off.
If we buy it video only.
Exactly. Otherwise, we'll be sorry.
At Video Only, you won't find huge stores with refrigerators or microwaves, but you will find the best deals on top-rated TVs, soundbars, and monitors. Shop around. Just make sure you visit Video Only, because if you don't,
you'll be sorry.
In South Center, Bellevue, Linwood, Federal Way, and Tacoma, Video Only.
Remember that time we were driving through France and for some reason we didn't have GPS?
Oh, for some reason? That reason would be that you didn't plug your phone in because you didn't have a charger.
Yeah, because I let you borrow my phone so you could call your mother, and you're on the phone for like 30 minutes telling her where we are. But that aside, we didn't know where we were going. We did fight a little bit because we didn't know where we were going. I think that Longevity Medical Clinic is like the GPS for us. They tell us which turns to make. They tell us which directions to go, right?
They do. And now I feel like the two of us together have a clear path and we have more control over our own health care.
Right, exactly. So you don't have to get out of the car and try to find information somewhere. It's all right there. As you're aging, all the little sort of turns you have to make in order to be able to have lots of energy and to enjoy your life. So for as far as I'm concerned, Longevity Medical Clinic is our GPS. Do what Nick and I have done. Take a free health analysis at lmclinic.com. That's lmclinic.com.
For over 50 years, Bucky's Complete Auto Repair has been the one locals trust for fast, friendly service with guaranteed repairs. With 16 family-owned locations and a Carfax preferred badge, Bucky's makes it easy with same-day service and available financing. Visit buckys.com.
At Bible Law Group, our team reflects the same lessons learned by our founder, James Bible, while playing for legendary Husky coach Don James. Coach James always said it's amazing what gets done when nobody claims credit. That's the philosophy we carry into every case, because your victory is what matters at Bible Law Group. When your legal problems hit biblical levels and you feel like you're stuck in a lion's den of litigation, you need a legal team that won't back down. At Bible Law, we've secured over $40 million in settlements for our clients, and we're ready to fight for you. Find us online at BibleLawGroup.com.
I guess they're celebrating there in Olympia. All the hard work is winding down. Going to get that millionaire's tax, which is not a millionaire's tax, but doesn't matter. So, what time did they have this little meeting?
It just says Wednesday night, so I don't know.
Oh, it was Wednesday. Okay,
it was last night.
Yeah, you don't know when you're going to have to talk. Anyway. Maybe he didn't know he was going to have to chat at all. They'd open the microphone up for him.
You want to play you a little bit of this?
Yeah, this is the Representative Fitzgibbons, right? Yeah. By the way, you can thank him for every time you put gas in your car. He was really proud of the Climate Commitment Act, right? That's where they take the money from you and then they reduce the Earth's temperature because as the representative says, climate crisis is an existential threat to all of us. So Joe was big on that, big on bringing down the Earth's temperature by charging like 55 cents extra per gallon I don't know how we're doing on that right now, the Earth's temperature. But so, yeah, here he is. Do you have him?
I got him.
He's made news because he seems to be kind of rambling.
Representative Fitzgibbon. Thank you, Mr. Chair. So I really want to thank you for your work on this budget. And I also want to say, I want to thank the members of the minority party for their amendments on this budget, which, while they were mostly not accepted, I think reflect something important about our state, which is that members of the legislature, whether in the majority or minority party, hear from their constituents what needs are that they feel need to be met by their state government. And most of those amendments were amendments to invest more in the people of our state. And while we're not in a place right now where we can say yes to every investment in the people of our state, I think it really matters that we're hearing from members of both caucuses, both Democrats and Republicans, about what the people that they represent need and the desire to see us invest more, whether that's in education, in workforce development, in higher education, in natural resources, in childcare, in healthcare. And so I really take that to heart, the fact that we have members of both parties that hear from the people they represent and bring those voices to this process to say, what can we do more to support the people?
Stop for a second. He's apologized for being slightly inebriated.
Yes.
But you just get what you really should be amazed at, not at the slurring and stuff. It's just the amount of crap words that can come out of somebody's mouth. The fact that we're investing in the other side. Just turn it on, just a machine. Just keep talking. Just keep making it sound like you reach across the aisle, and as you're reaching across, you accidentally knocked over a couple of. Just listen. I'll take out the stupid sound effects. Just let them just keep going.
Who sent us here?
Yeah, here we go.
I think that we're in a particularly hard time right now for many reasons, but more than anything because of the expenses that we have been sent our way from Washington, D.C.
Oh, yeah. There we go.
Those are tough things that we are grappling with. But we also have, I think, through this budget shown that in spite of those incredible challenges, in spite of those incredible expenses that Washington state taxpayers are now being asked to bear,
because of Washington, D.C.
we have still managed to put forward a budget that prioritizes the people of our state. In K-12 education, in higher education,
healthcare,
in the social safety net. And I don't know that there's any member here who can't think of a lot of things that we would like to see funded that aren't funded today. I am grateful to all the members of this committee and all the members of the House for putting forward their ideas.
Oh, stop. It went on for how long?
That was about five and a half minutes.
So he has officially apologized.
He's apologized, and he said he looks forward to finishing the session without alcohol. Literally.
I guess they're popping all those champagne bottles because they're going to get all the money from the rich people and then give it to the kids in school. Yeah. What a load. All right. Seattle and Cleveland. What do we have in common? You're like, what? One had the future, one has the past. We're going to reverse those two. We'll tell you more about that in a second. But first, here comes Nate checking traffic. Nathan.
All right, we still got this collision westbound 16 at Olympic Drive in Gig Harbor. It's blocking your left lane, and you're sitting in a bumper-to-bumper backup starting at 24th Street, just coming off the Tacoma Narrows Bridge. Eastbound 16 at I-5 in Tacoma, a collision still blocks the right lane of that on-ramp. We've got a tow-on seam. In Shelton, northbound 3, just north of the city limits, a collision still blocks the northbound lane, so traffic is alternating at the seam. Southbound 167 in Algona at Ellingson Road. We've got a crash in your right lane. You're bumper-to-bumper approaching State Route 18. Renton to Puyallup still at 45 minutes. Seattle to Federal Way, a 40-minute commute. Heavy volumes from Inner Urban Avenue to State Route 516. North 5, we're heavy between the West Seattle Bridge and Ship Canal Bridge. It's going to take you about a half hour to clear downtown. Seattle to Everett, 45 minutes. It's slow between Shoreline and Linwood, starting at 145th. And Bellevue to Everett at 55 minutes. Scattered backups between Bellevue and Alderwood. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
KIRO News Radio, where you turn for the news you depend on.
Two competing budget proposals. Senators want to be aggressive, they say.
Traffic.
We have a stall on westbound 16.
Conversation.
If they pass this thing and Governor Ferguson signs it into law, I think there's going to be a mass political sea change in Washington State.
And your Super Bowl champion Seahawks.
They're bringing it home again.
Broadcasting live from the KIRO News Radio YouTube channel. KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM.
I'm worried.
About what?
Water.
Oh?
Hot water, if you really want to know.
Water heater worries?
Worried it's wearing down.
Running out?
The hot doesn't last like it used to.
So you're...
Worried.
I got a guaranteed fix.
Let me guess. A new water heater.
Right, but...
That's what worries me.
Well, worry no more.
Why?
What you need is an Apollo Plumbing water heater.
Because?
We include Wrenchy's worry-free warranty.
Wrenchy's what?
Worry-free warranty.
Which means?
When it wears out, we replace it.
No extra charge.
As an A-List Club member, you're covered for life.
For life?
For as long as you're an A-List member. You get annual life-extending water heater flushes included.
So it lasts longer.
Right.
And when it needs replacement,
you're covered.
With no worries.
Because it's Wrenchy's
worry-free warranty.
What else would you expect from the Ready Right Now plumbers?
Apollo Plumbing.
Home of Wrenchy's worry-free warranty.
What about tankless ones?
Worry-free too.
Gotta love that Wrenchy.
ApolloPlumbing.com.
Hi, Flo here from Progressive. You know, life changes quickly, so it's good to have flexible coverage.
Oh, you mean like adding another vehicle?
Yes, that's something we can do.
Great, because I was thinking about getting a van so we could just keep the kids' softball stuff in the car.
Oh, we don't need to get into specifics. Just saying it's easy to change.
Oh, and Hannah wants to try the tuba.
Again, we don't need the specifics.
Last year, she wanted to be a tap dancer, but that only lasted 2 lessons.
Okay.
But she kept the shoes because they are adorable.
Well, just know that with Progressive, you can easily add another car to your auto insurance because we know life changes.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
Confidence is knowing you're ready to handle whatever comes your way. That's what it feels like to take on your workday with Cintas. They make sure your AEDs are up to date, your fire extinguishers are tested and inspected, your floor mats are cleaned and delivered, and your workwear looks good, feels good, and is freshly laundered with a Cintas Apparel Plus program. So are you ready to take on today? Visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
If you owe back taxes, listen carefully to rule number 1. Never go up against the IRS alone. They're cracking down, freezing bank accounts, garnishing paychecks, canceling passports. Even your home or business could be at risk. But here's what they don't tell you. The IRS has powerful tax relief programs that could save you thousands if you qualify. That's why smart people call Optima Tax Relief, America's #1 tax resolution firm. Nobody knows these programs like the experts at Optima. Their team of tax attorneys and licensed professionals have resolved over $2 billion in tax debt for people just like you. The IRS is not stopping, so don't wait and don't take them on alone. For tax help you need, for tax help you can trust, call Optima today for a free consultation.
Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Guys, did you know your testosterone affects everything in your system, including how you feel and perform every day? Right now, Revive Men's Health Seattle will check your testosterone for free. Knowing your T levels is the first step in understanding if you have low T. Your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED. Maintaining an appropriate T level can change your whole life.
Most men start to see changes in their hormone levels in their 30s. Experience and results matter. So what are you waiting for? Get your T levels checked today by local, experienced, and trusted men's health experts. They've helped thousands of men since 2011. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Call Revive today and schedule your free testosterone test, free exam, and free consultation. Call Revive Men's Health at 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit revivemenshealth.com.
Amazon Business empowers leaders with smart business buying tools, leaving time to focus on strategy and growth. Free up your teams and focus on your future at amazonbusiness.com.
Home for original reporting.
I'm Jennifer Kuiper. The House Oversight Committee for 6 hours peppered former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton with questions related to its Jeffrey Epstein investigation. Republican Committee Chair James Comer.
There were a lot of questions that we asked that we weren't satisfied with the answers that we got, but we will continue to move forward.
Hillary Clinton says she never met Jeffrey Epstein and never had any connection or communication with him, and that Ghislaine Maxwell attended her daughter's wedding as a guest of someone who was invited. Clinton also tells reporters,
I started being asked about UFOs and a series of questions about Pizzagate, one of the most vile, bogus conspiracy theories that was propagated on the internet.
Former President Bill Clinton will be deposed tomorrow. The White House confirms American citizens were on board a stolen speedboat that entered Cuban waters yesterday, as first reported by Axios. At least one American was one of 4 people killed by Cuba's Coast Guard after the occupants of the boat allegedly opened fire on the Cuban military. CBS's Christian Benavides also reports.
Cuba says it also seized assault rifles, handguns, Molotov cocktails, and bulletproof vests from the boat, alleging the group had intentions of carrying out terrorism.
The chief of Anthropic says the AI company cannot, in good conscience, agree to the Pentagon's demands to allow wider use of its technology. CBS's Cammie McCormick has the latest.
The company says it's not walking away from the negotiation, but new contract language received from the Pentagon made no progress on preventing Claude's use for mass surveillance of Americans or in fully autonomous weapons. The Pentagon spokesman says the military has no interest in doing either, but won't let any company dictate terms. The Defense Department's given Anthropic a Friday deadline to agree to its demands and could designate Anthropic as a supply chain risk if it doesn't.
A new state law impacting transgender residents is now in effect in Kansas. CBS's Stacey Lynn.
The measure requires state IDs to reflect the sex assigned at birth and forces affected residents to pay for their replacements. The new law affects more than 1,000 residents in the state. Civil rights groups say legal challenges are likely.
Meta will soon alert parents if their teenage child uses Instagram to search for content related to self-harm or suicide. CBS News tech contributor Ian Scher says parents must be connected to the account.
The fact that Meta has gone through the effort of creating this feature shows that there is a need for it, and hopefully that it can make a difference in at least saving some lives.
This is CBS News.
I want to know what's going on in the world.
I'm Tony.
There are big questions that all of us are asking. I want to get you the answers.
How are you?
I'm Tony DeCopel. Join me on the CBS Evening News.
Coming up, the cheap fix for one of fentanyl addiction's biggest hurdles. That's one story coming up after Nate Connors at the traffic desk.
All right, thanks, Aaron. Seattle Sports has the update. Let's start with Sound Transit's 2 line, which is suspended between Linwood and Northgate this afternoon due to signal issues. Passengers, you'll need to take the 1 line in the meantime. So Linwood to Seattle looking pretty good at 20 minutes on I-5. We're all clear until you reach the U District, and then from there it's pretty heavy all the way down to I-90. North 5, scattered backups now approaching the West Seattle Bridge across the Ship Canal Bridge. It's now 40 minutes to make it through downtown. Seattle to Everett, 45 minutes, scattered backups between Shoreline and Linwood. Bellevue to Everett, 55, scattered between Bellevue and Alderwood. Gig Harbor, we still have a collision blocking westbound 16 at Olympic Drive. It's in the left lane, and you're backed up almost to the Narrows Bridge now. Eastbound 16 at I-5 in Tacoma, collision still takes up the right lane of that on-ramp. We're still blocking northbound 3 at milepost 4, just north of the Shelton city limits. So traffic is alternating at the scene. And we still have our collision in Algona, southbound 167 at Ellingson. It's in your right lane. All added up, Renton to Puyallup will take you about 45 minutes. Search Seattle Sports on YouTube and click subscribe to get fresh video content daily. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
KIRO FM and HD1, Tacoma, Seattle. KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon, I'm Aaron Granillo. Police say they've arrested a drunk 16-year-old boy who shot up a pizza joint early this morning. Happened in Seattle's Capitol Hill neighborhood. Police Detective Eric Munoz says it happened at the Pizza Mart Bar and Grill on 11th Avenue.
Multiple bullet holes in the front of the business, including the door and the glass. They found that nobody was injured, but multiple people were injured by glass fragments.
Now, police say it appears the boy used a fake ID to drink at the bar. Detectives say he fired on the restaurant after being kicked out and then tried to carjack an Uber driver. He faces robbery, assault, and gun charges. Cheap treatments could help solve one of the biggest obstacles in treating fentanyl addiction. Dr. Lucinda Grandy's research shows a tiny dose of ketamine can ease the withdrawal symptoms that keep people from starting treatments.
30 minutes later, their withdrawal was basically resolved.
Grandy is a clinical associate professor at the UW School of Medicine. She tells Seattle's Morning News each dose costs just 44 cents. Strange surprise for some callers to Washington's Department of Licensing. The Spanish language option came back in English, but with an accent. KIRO News Radio's Frank Lenzi explains.
For now, the DOL has pulled the self-service option so it can figure out how and when this happened.
Please press 1 for English. 2 para español. Thank you for calling the Department of Licensing Customer Support Center.
The DOL says the self-service option is using newer technology and that it's being upgraded, and all the languages offered will be tested. That recording you heard surfaced in a TikTok video last summer, according to the spokesman review, and was reposted about a week ago. Frank Lenzi, KIRO News Radio.
Your spring cleaning might have to wait a little bit. Snohomish County's largest transfer station will be closed from next Friday, March 9th to the 29th. Project manager Michael Smith says they need to replace the tipping floor at the facility near Payne Fields.
Where you see the front loaders running by, where you dump all the garbage, they push it into the chute, that's the tipping floor. And that's what needs to get repaired.
But the dumps in Mount Lake Terrace and Arlington will stay open, but you can expect some heavy delays there. Now to your weather updates, looking at a mix of clouds and sunshine today. Some showers along the coast. Highs today in the low to mid 50s. 53 degrees right now in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with a KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Hi, you've reached the John Curley Show listener introduction line. Please tell us a little bit about yourself and why you enjoy the show. Thank you.
Hopefully it's complimentary.
The key to industry transformation, the key to success is developers, 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 developers. Developers, 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 developers.
There you go. That was the key. By the way, that went on for about 4 minutes.
And I'd love that you just poured water on
Under the armpit. You never seen the video?
Oh, no, I've seen it.
It's classic. There's an easy brunt of every joke was, well, Cleveland. At least we're not Cleveland. This was, when did this come out, Joe? The hastily made Cleveland tourism video.
I think like 2008.
Yeah. It's hilarious, but it's not fair to Cleveland.
Fun times in Cleveland today. Cleveland. Come on down to Cleveland town, everyone. Come and look at both of our buildings. Under construction since 1868. See our river that catches on fire. It's so polluted that all our fish have AIDS. We see the sun almost 3 times a year. Don't slow down in East Cleveland or you'll die. Our economy's based on LeBron James. Buy a house for the price of a VCR. Our main export is crippling depression. It could be worse though, at least we're not Detroit.
Now that is
we're not Detroit.
I forgot that yet. Cleveland's response to that and all the mockery.
The new center of the world is Cleveland. One of America's hottest housing markets.
The #1 metro area. Tennessee is flocking to a great place to start a family. A low cost of living and rich cultural scene.
So yeah, this is Metropolis, the birthplace of Superman.
More than 2 million
WNBA is coming back.
State-of-the-art facility. West Side. A reimagined airport transformation.
You're saying to yourself,
Downtown is
we're in Seattle. Why are we talking about Cleveland? Well, Charles Fitzgerald, who has been in the software industry in Seattle for 20 years, worked at Microsoft and other companies as well. He's a consultant, works with local startups and angel investors, has a blog analysis called platformeconomics.com. Charles, you thought there was some sort of connection between Cleveland and Seattle. You write the article. Cleveland was the first article. Let me get this one, Charles, because this is the one that caused the problems. Don't become the next Cleveland.
Yep. So I've been knocking around the Seattle tech scene for a couple decades and have been thinking a lot about Seattle's next act. Seattle's last act was fabulous. Over the last 25, 30 years, city's become incredibly prosperous. We've grown a lot. Yeah. And the software industry is getting kind of mature. The question is what happens next. We're not punching above our weight the way we did in the AI space. We're not punching above our weight the way we did in software. And I think you can make a pretty compelling argument that both Amazon and Microsoft have hit peak employee. And as they become more capital intensive and lean into AI, they're just not going to have as many people. We're seeing other local companies lay people off. We're seeing a lot of the engineering centers that came up here to hire talent are shrinking. So the question is, what comes next for the city? And
you chose, Charles, you chose Cleveland because you thought, well, there was a prosperous place in the 30s and 40s.
Seattle today looks a lot like Cleveland 1950. Here's a city that's seen decades of population growth. It's very, very wealthy relative to the rest of the country. It's got some of the big tech companies of the day, the big industrial companies. And Cleveland fell very far, very fast. So on one hand, you had external change. Things changed. The Rust Belt started to rust. And there's the question of how did they go and manage that? And so Cleveland went from the 5th or 7th largest city to 50-something.
56,
They lost over 60% of their population. Incomes plummeted from well above average to less than half of the average in the country and even less compared to Seattle today.
So again, Charles Dickens, tell me spirits, this is not the things to come in the future.
Yes. So it is.
Could we become Cleveland?
It is a cautionary tale. And Seattle's always been a super lucky city, right? The next big economic engine has just kind of come along. So, I like to joke the Alaska gold rush was literally a gold rush. But after that, you had Bill number 1, who made the city synonymous with aerospace. You had the story of why we have a thriving container port is a fascinating story. There was this very narrow window where the cranes, you had to keep upgrading the cranes to take advantage of the bigger ships. And a lot of cities didn't make it. Some of the biggest ports in the world, London, San Francisco, New York, Portland, all didn't make it to the container world, but Seattle made it. And the thing that really helped the city was the Alaska earthquake of 1964. And the government wanted to send a lot of relief supplies up there, and it came at the right time. So Seattle got onto that cycle of upgrading its cranes, and now we have a thriving port.
So a little bit of providence, luck, whatever it is.
Not a lot, but more luck, right? I mean, Bill number 2 grew up here, made the city synonymous with software. And then you had this guy named Jeff Bezos who decided, hey, Seattle is where I want to be, gets in his Chevy Blazer, drives across the country, pioneers both e-commerce and cloud computing here in Seattle, and creates, 1.5 million jobs around the world along the way.
So after the article comes out, Charles, don't become the next Cleveland. How long did it take to hear from somebody from Cleveland?
Well, I woke up the next morning and the mayor of Cleveland had written a piece, and he said, yeah, we've had our trouble, but, we're getting after it now. And, it was just kind of crazy that the mayor of Cleveland is more responsive to the Seattle tech community than, anybody at the city of Seattle or the state of Washington.
He called, and actually, when you were talking with Tom Bishop from GeekWire, and then the Mayor Justin Bibby said,
frankly, I envy problems around growth. Those are the problems I want to have in Cleveland, and I'm trying to create the baseline so we can have those problems.
So right now, Cleveland and Ohio specifically, they're doing tax cuts, and Cleveland is doing an incentive for businesses. If you come in and you invest in Cleveland, they'll give you a break. They're just doing everything they can to attract. They have 36,000 job openings right now in Cleveland.
They are hustling for business. I mean, the mayor of Cleveland was pitching me on why Cleveland's a great place to do business, and he was pitching his local companies. Hard to imagine the mayor of Seattle doing that.
In fact, he pitched you so hard. When do you plan on flying to Cleveland?
We are putting together a delegation to go visit Cleveland and see what we can learn from them.
So isn't that odd? You've been in this business and lived here for all of these years, and you're going to Cleveland to figure out what Seattle can do.
Yeah, Seattle's pretty much fat, dumb, and happy. People take it for granted that the prosperity we've got today is going to stick around, and you really can't take that kind of prosperity for granted. And Cleveland, 75 years later, they're still digging out, right? The population has been dropping. Incomes are incredibly low. So, Cleveland is a cautionary tale for what Seattle should become. And we need to figure out what's our next act.
You are somebody that knows the inside and the outside of the economics of software, the hiring, the dynamic ability to grow and invest. If you had a chance to sit down with a mayor, have you had a chance to talk to Katie Wilson or any of her people?
I have not heard from the mayor, only the mayor of Cleveland.
It's going to be on your tombstone.
Maybe.
So have you reached out to her people?
We did ask the mayor of Cleveland to comment on the interaction with the mayor from Cleveland, but have heard nothing back.
Okay. So if you did have some time with the mayor, Katie Wilson, our new mayor, and her people, what would you tell them? If you were the guy that's down in the bottom of the Titanic and, iceberg dead ahead, right? There is something on the horizon that could really damage the whole of Seattle.
The world is changing, and the city historically has been very lucky. And you could say, hey, maybe we'll get lucky again, but I would be working to create that luck. And it starts with, let's make Seattle a great place to live and work. Let's make sure people want to be here. Let's make sure they're excited about putting their kids in the local schools. Let's make sure we keep the local talent, and let's make sure we attract outside talent. Is the next Jeff Bezos going to get in his Chevy Blazer and drive across the country to Seattle today? It's not clear that's going to happen. So we need to focus on the basics and make sure that we can create whatever luck comes along. But right now, there seems to be a lot happening at both Olympia and the city level that says, hey, we're not really interested in the backbone industry of the city today. And, I look at the Amazon stuff. So, the city, or at least parts of the city government, decided they really didn't like Amazon. So Amazon reacted not surprisingly. They probably have reduced their employee headcount in Seattle by 20%.
Yeah.
They've given up 1 million square feet of real estate.
They moved out of the Dexter Triangle yesterday, Denny Triangle yesterday.
They just announced they're going to double the amount of office space in Bellevue. And Seattle has been great for Bellevue. But if you look at downtown has record vacancies. So what is the plan from the mayor and the city council and everybody else to get downtown going again? I haven't heard anything.
Why do you think that is? That there seems to be this sort of strange, it's either benign neglect or kind of a low frequency resentment towards business.
Yeah, I don't get it. I mean, if you look, Seattle has done incredibly well. City government, state government has also reaped an immense windfall from the prosperity of the software age. So cities grown a bunch, states grown a bunch. If you look at their budgets, spending has grown over 3 times the rate of population growth. And that's inflation adjusted. If you look at it in absolute dollars, it's a lot more. So you've had the government spending growing much faster than the economy or the population, essentially the tax base. And that's been going on for 25 years. And I think at some point you got to ask how long that can keep going on. And boy, if the population starts to dip down or even goes negative, the doom loop that results, and we're already seeing this for things like Seattle Public Schools, where enrollment's down 20%, which means your budget's down 20%. And you got to make some hard decisions about how are you going to consolidate space and what are you going to focus on. And, like of all the things that are going on in the city, the thing that just drives me the most crazy is nobody even seems to care about the situation in the schools. Majority 4th graders, 8th graders are not proficient in reading or writing, or reading or math.
Cleveland still struggles with that, but you're right. As a family, if the families care, the first thing they look for when it comes to where they're going to live is what are the schools like, right? Yep. And if the school isn't there, when we had our kids, we were living in Queen Anne on Warren Avenue. We looked around, we said, maybe the grade school okay, but the high school, we didn't want to send them to a private school, so we did what. We got a postcard that says, "Congratulations on the birth of your children. Now you need to move to Sammamish." So we did, and the reason people lived in Sammamish because the schools were so good, because Microsoft was so much part of that community that everybody that worked at Microsoft is like, we want to have great schools. Absolutely. I remember a couple of times voting on different taxes or something, and somebody said the reason we're going to increase the property tax is so that we can provide for the schools, because the schools are the heart of our community. If the schools begin to go south, then everybody goes north, east, or west in some other direction, and then you lose, commerce, and the property values begin to drop as people move out, and there's more houses on the market, so the prices sell for less. And as you say, it's the doom loop.
We live in an advanced civilization. If we're raising kids who can't read, can't do math, they're at an immense disadvantage, and they're certainly not going to help drive our economy going forward.
Have you seen the changes that are happening in San Francisco?
Yes.
Yes. Do you think that it seemed like both the elected officials, the new mayor and there, and the people of San Francisco said, we've had enough. That's it. We're done.
Absolutely.
And they said, okay, and all the propositions, all of the changes were, just 180 degrees from the direction the city was going. It made a sharp turn, hard. Not so hard to the right that you're like, you think you're living in, Tennessee somewhere, but they're like, we're done with this. We tried it. We're moving on. And now they're moving in this direction. You can't be on the street. You can't do drugs. We'll put you either in jail or we're going to put you in the hospital, and you're going to go to the hospital. You're going to stay in the hospital. You're going to get better off of this stuff. No more stealing. They're increasing the number of cops. Do you think at some point Seattle, bang, hits that wall and the voters say, we've had enough, and now let's switch?
The voters did a little over 4 years ago, and then we seem to have flipped back to...
Why do you think that is?
I think we got wrapped up in national politics where people wanted to vote against Trump, and the best way they could do that was the, most progressive local candidates. But, the things that local government needs to focus on are much more basic, right? We don't need all the ideologues. We need public safety. We need, let's figure out the housing problem. Let's figure out how to make the schools better, right? These are not things where you get to do big ideological gestures. It's hardcore blocking, tackling, just grunt work.
Right. Fill the potholes.
It's not glamorous.
No. And it's not exciting in a way, because you're not dealing with the soul of the individual. You're dealing with their front struts to make sure it doesn't break off.
Yep.
I want to continue our conversation with you, Charles Fitzgerald, because I think that your insight not only to what's happening in the tech world, I want to find out from you, are you hearing from people that are trying to make the decision, do we come to Seattle and set up in Seattle? Do we come in and poach people out of Seattle? I saw an article you did just a little while ago of some local startups that are moving out of Seattle. So what is the future for business in Seattle? And then any other advice you have for the mayor? Do you know why I endorsed her?
Because?
I wanted to try socialism without murdering 100 million people.
All right. Do it at small scale. Document the cautionary tale.
Right. But you're not talking about doing it small scale, murdering people.
No.
Oh,
okay. Just the socialism.
Socialism. No, I said go all in. I said just try it. Let's stop this baby, toes thing. Go in, do it. Tax the rich. Redistribute wealth. And then, we'll get the warm embrace that we're supposed to get from the East Coast as well when it comes to communism and socialism. Yeah. So stick with us, Charles. Let Nate's checking traffic. Nathan.
This report brought to us by Seattle Sports. All right, Gig Harbor, westbound 16 at Olympic Drive. So we moved our collision out of your way. It's on the left shoulder. But now we have pedestrians at that Olympic Drive overpass waving signs, and drivers are slowing down at the scene. So you're backed up mid-span to the Narrows Bridge. We have a high wind advisory in effect over the Tacoma Narrows Bridge this afternoon. In Shelton, we're still dealing with this collision northbound 3 at milepost 4, just north of the city limits. And this has traffic alternating at the scene. We cleared our collision and outgoing Daytona, southbound 167 at Ellingson. Renton to Puyallup on the Valley Freeway. We're holding steady at 45 minutes. Tacoma to Olympia, 45-minute commute. Here in Seattle, North 5, it is thick approaching the West Seattle Bridge across the Ship Canal. We're now at 45 minutes to clear these backups. Northbound I-5, the express lanes at 80th. We've got a stall blocking your left lane. Bellevue to Renton's at 25 minutes, heavy from 520 all the way to Northeast 44th near the VMAC. And we're slow northbound 405 through the Renton S-curves. You can always listen to your favorite local sports content on the FM dial on 97.3 HD2. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
KIRO News Radio, the first place you turn for the news you trust.
Seattle's new mayor is laying out a big vision.
She offered few specifics.
Engaging conversation.
Has anybody noticed their electric bill? It's diabolical, Ursula.
And your Super Bowl champion Seahawks.
They are bringing the Lombardi back to the Northwest.
Streaming everywhere on the KIRO News Radio app. Always here, always with you. KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM.
The team that gave me back my full head of hair, Advanced Hair, is once again the winner of the 425 Business of the Year. Dr. Perungo and his world-class team begin regrowing your own natural hair the very next day. And Advanced Hair guarantees your new hair will grow, just like they did for me. Find out why Advanced Hair is the best of the best. With your free consultation, you'll receive $250 off and 250 free hair grafts. 425-449-8185 or advancedhair.com.
Give your attic an overhaul with new insulation from Guardian Roofing, Gutters, and Insulation. Stay cool all summer, slash utility bills, and boost your home's air quality. Call now and get $300 off attic ceiling and ventilation, or visit us at guardianroofing.com.
You know the one question that guys hate to have asked of them by their wives, Nick?
I can take a good guess.
I know you know 100 of them. This is the worst one. Do these jeans make my butt look big?
Whoa.
Can't answer that one, right? What I've noticed is whenever you ask me questions like that, I just simply say, oh, I don't know. What did the doctors at Longevity Medical Clinic say?
Well, the doctors at Longevity Medical Clinic would tell me that my butt looks great in those jeans now that my hormones are balanced.
What'd they do? Did they give you something to bring your weight down?
No, just a result of having my hormones balanced caused me to lose weight. Who would have known? I had no idea that would be a result of it.
So that's good. So the answer is you look great. You're beautiful.
I feel great. I look great.
Yeah.
And I know it.
I've also noticed that your testosterone makes you a little feistier than you normally are as my beautiful Greek wife.
I might be small, but I have a loud bark.
Yes, you do. Do what Nick and I have done. Take a free health analysis at longevitymedicalclinic.com.
Jackson Hewitt knows taxes are complicated, and with multiple jobs and tax forms, they're like Sonata complicated. Our no surprise pricing keeps things simple. Jackson Hewitt does your taxes for only $149 or less. And since we know all the new tax codes, you could get thousands back. So what are you waiting for? Hurry. File with Jackson Hewitt today for only $149 or less, guaranteed. Limited time offer for new clients on federal returns. Participating locations only. Terms at jacksonhewitt.com/149.
Confidence is knowing you're ready to handle whatever comes your way. That's what it feels like to take on your workday with Cintas. They make sure your AEDs are up to date, your fire extinguishers are tested and inspected, your floor mats are cleaned and delivered, and your workwear looks good, feels good, and is freshly laundered with the Cintas Apparel Plus program. So are you ready to take on today? Visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
It's clogged again.
Your drain?
Just had it cleared.
You didn't call Apollo Plumbing.
How can you tell?
Because your drain's clogged again.
So frustrating.
We can clear that drain.
That's what the last guy said.
We'll clear it, guaranteed.
He said that too.
Apollo Plumbing will clear your drain, or it's free.
Wait, what?
Apollo Plumbing clears your drain.
Or it's free?
Yep.
What's the catch?
No catch.
Fine print?
Apollo Plumbing clears your main drain for $83.
$83, or it's free?
And we'll even give you a camera inspection.
Because?
It's the best way to find what's causing your clog.
But that's extra.
Nope. Included.
No extra charge?
Not 1 cent.
$83, or it's free.
All it takes is an accessible outside cleanout.
And an Apollo plumber.
No clog is safe from Apollo Plumbing.
And just like that, my main drain is...
draining again.
How can you...
Apollo plumbers are that good.
$83, or it's free.
You call, we come.
My drain's draining again.
Guaranteed.
$83, or it's free.
As it should be.
Apollo Plumbing.
ApolloPlumbing.com.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KIRO
Call 877-CARS-FOR-KIDS to reach a friendly live agent. Donation's super easy and your car can be picked up by tomorrow. Call now or go to carsforkids.org.
1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS. Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too?
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon, I'm Aaron Granello. The House Majority Leader now admits he drank alcohol on the job before yesterday's Appropriations Committee meeting. Video shows Representative Joe Fitzgibbon slurring his words. Several lawmakers say he smelled of alcohol. Republican Michelle Valdez tells Seattle Red's Jason Rantz.
There was definitely a behavior change and a speech change.
In a statement, Fitzgibbon says he's disappointed in himself and promises it will not happen again. Cutoff day has come and gone in the state legislature. KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey looks at one of the more controversial bills still alive.
It survived, and it's now before a Senate committee defining when law enforcement can wear masks and when they cannot. It's a direct cause and effect from the debate over immigration enforcement and ICE agents covering their faces. State Republican Dan Griffey introduced an amendment to make sure the bill applied to federal agents only.
So what I was trying to do is make sure that the intent section pointed that out, that showed that this was a federal issue, and that in Washington State, we dealt with this about 5 years ago.
That amendment was rejected. Luke Ducey, KIRO News Radio.
More than 55,000 pounds of blueberries are being recalled because of possible listeria contamination.
The Oregon Potato Company first issued the recall on February 12th, but the FDA has since upgraded it to a Class 1, labeling the product as serious health risk that could lead to death. The frozen blueberries were not sold in stores, but instead were shipped in bulk to distributors here in Washington, as well as Oregon, Michigan, Wisconsin, and Canada. If you think you got sick, you're urged to call the FDA's emergency line or file a MedWatch report online. There's more information on all this posted at mynorthwest.com. Frank Lindsay, KIRO News Radio.
Well, this Saturday marks 25 years since the Nisqually earthquake hit, causing widespread damage across the region. The Pacific Seismic Network says there is an 85% chance a similar quake hits the region sometime in the next 50 years. The network's director, Harold Tobin, says many older, historic buildings remain at risk today.
There still are literally thousands of those kind of structures across the state and region, as well as, in Seattle proper or Olympia. And schools are among those. So there's lots for us to still be concerned about.
Shaking in 2001 left billions of dollars worth of damage. Governor Ferguson has now declared the 28th of February as Nisqually Earthquake Remembrance Day. Now to the real-time traffic desk, 432. Here's Nate Connors.
All right, out in Gig Harbor, it is a struggle if you're heading westbound on 16. At Olympic Drive, we have a collision. It's sitting on the left shoulder. That's not the issue. We have pedestrians now on that overpass waving signs, and drivers are slowing way down to check it out, and you're backed up all the way onto the Tacoma Narrows Bridge. In Shelton, we still have a collision northbound 3 at milepost 4, just north of the city limits due to a long-term collision, so that means traffic is alternating at the scene. We've got about 1 mile backups in either direction. Tacoma to Olympia are doing okay. 45 minutes. Your biggest holdup is about a 3 mile backup through JBLM. Seattle to Federal Way is going to take you a half hour. Usual backups along South Center into Des Moines. Here in Seattle, North 5, it is pretty thick approaching the West Seattle Bridge across the Ship Canal Bridge. In fact, we're at 45 minutes to make it through downtown Seattle. South 5 is slow from the U District to the to I-90. On the express lanes at 80th, we still have a stall blocking that left lane. Bellevue to Renton, plan on 25 minutes. Heavy volumes from 520 all the way down to the VMAC before you catch a break. And Sound Transit's 2 line has been restored between Linwood and Northgate after about a 90-minute suspension due to earlier signal issues. KIRO News Radio real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
Got some light rain showers up north, tapering off into tomorrow, turning mainly sunny this weekend with a spring-like feel. Mid-50s, right now 54 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granello, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
KIRO 7 TV's Pinpoint Alert Days. It's your advance notice to stay safe. When weather threatens to damage and disrupt your daily life, KIRO 7 sounds the alarm, preparing you days in advance. Stay informed, stay prepared with KIRO 7 Pinpoint Alert Days only on KIRO 7 News.
Thank you, Joe. Well said, well read. Don't forget about Bucky's Auto Service Center. Been around for 50 years, right, Andrew? Will you verify that? I don't want Aaron fact-checking me. 16 locations, by the way, Aaron.
Is that right?
Yeah, go They're known
double
as the,
check
known as the Wolverines, Bucky Wolverines.
Is that so?
Yes, that's right. Bucky's Auto Service Centers. I am so honored to have you, Charles, because I've been a fan after reading the articles that you'd written for GeekWire, and I love the fact when you wrote this one piece, we asked Charles to stay with us, Charles Fitzgerald, when you wrote, "Don't become the next Cleveland," within, would you say 48 hours, the mayor of Cleveland called you?
He responded in 24, and we were on the phone in 48.
And you're going to be flying to Cleveland soon.
He has invited us to come see what we can learn from Cleveland.
Right, because you saw Cleveland as what was the past of Cleveland? What did Cleveland do to try to repair itself? A lot of those Midwest cities along the Rust Belt, whether it's Cleveland or Pittsburgh, you can start to see some of the early signs. That's a great thing.
I picked Cleveland in particular because when the Rust Belt started to rust, there were a couple different cities that were all part of that. So you had Pittsburgh, you had Detroit, you had Cleveland. Pittsburgh was the model for what the post-industrial playbook looks like. They really leaned into healthcare. They leaned into their university. And more importantly, everybody in town rallied around.
Yeah.
So you had the politicians, you had the business community, they worked together. That's actually a playbook that Cleveland belatedly adopted. In the case of Detroit, they were kind of just had their heads in the sand and assumed the auto business would always be there. Cleveland was interesting because the politicians got super adversarial with local industry. And when companies were starting to draw up lists of which plants were they going to close, it was very easy to say, the Cleveland one's kind of a hassle. Let's get rid of that.
I've said that the golden goose, which needs to lay the eggs but needs to be treated well, has wings, which it seems like a lot of local politicians don't realize that. So
hopefully they're learning as
because are they starting to see the numbers? We hear about, this person left and this person left and these are people leaving, these are businesses leaving. It's, in a microcosm, it's Amazon hops on 520, goes across and takes 20,000 people with them. But do the politicians really know that it's happening?
Who knows what they really know, but it's getting harder and harder to miss with downtown Seattle has record vacancies. Amazon is emphatically moving people out. And, Boeing's been doing a slow motion migration out of the state for 15, 20 years. They have a lot more plant and infrastructure, so it's harder to do, but they're almost 2/3 of their employees are now outside of the state of Washington, and they just announced they're going to ship some more out to South Carolina. So it can be done. It won't happen overnight, but capital will go to where it's wanted. And it doesn't seem to be wanted in Seattle. And depending on what happens in Olympia, the whole state may become a less attractive place to be.
Which leads us to?
Ball is caught. It's the running back. It's Henderson. He is tackled in bounds. 3, 2, 1. The Seahawks. They're bringing it home again for the second time in less than 12 years. The Seahawks win Super Bowl 60.
Big smile on the face of Charles Fitzgerald, born and raised here in the Northwest, living in Bellevue all your life and then in Seattle. So your next piece is Don't be the Cleveland Browns. So I think the most interesting lens on everything that's going on in Olympia is what happens to the Seahawks. And if you look back at the Paul Allen tenure, so over 20 years, you had 4 Super Bowl appearances. You had a guy who had the bankroll to fund the team with what it needed. He was very patient. He didn't get involved in personnel decisions. And obviously, Paul's wealth came from the Software Act for Seattle. And now the team is for sale. And the question is, who's going to buy that team? Gates has said he's out. Ballmer's out. I don't think we can trust Howard Schultz with a professional sports franchise in the Seattle area. Not right now.
It seems unlikely that Jeff Bezos is going to come back and ride to the rescue. So who's it going to be? And I see the speculation that local musicians are going to buy into the team, but we're talking $6-8 billion, right? I mean, we're going to need a big boy billionaire for this. So we're probably looking at out-of-state money. And is anybody going to want to come to Seattle? You're sitting in a place where every estate lawyer is telling people who are even moderately wealthy they need to get out of the state. So does a billionaire want to move back into the Seattle area? And then that brings up the question of, Seattle Times ran a headline, could the Seahawks move? And so it's really interesting to see tax policy start to have implications for our local football team.
Yeah,
and it's also affecting the return of the NBA.
You know what? It's such an interesting bellwether, right? What an amazing experiment if you to write it out in an economics book that here is this prize, this golden apple, right?
Yep.
That you know that here's this team, the Super Bowl, and you know the amount of revenue it generates. And when it was purchased by Paul Allen for 194 million, and then now it's turning around all these years later, going to be on the block for 10 billion. But who wants to reach out and grab it? Because you grab hold of that thing, you could be electrified by a political culture that hates you.
And just to roll it back to the Cleveland story. So the Cleveland Browns dominated the NFL in the 1950s.
Yeah.
They have not won a title since. So not only do we not want to be Cleveland, we don't want to be the Cleveland Browns.
So do you have any idea, like Tiresias, the blind prophet, who's going to, do you have any idea who would buy them? We hear something like Canes. Is it Tom something or other from Canes?
Yeah, the owner of Raising Canes. I don't know
Raising
what his
Canes?
name is.
No.
I don't know.
But that would be out-of-state money, too.
It'd be great if there was a big boy local billionaire who would buy the team, do a good job managing the team, and keep them here.
I heard, what's it, McKenzie? Is it Bezos or Bill Gates' wife? Charles, what was that face you just made?
I'm skeptical, but who knows?
Okay, all right. We're not going to place any bets on it. Well, you have to check back with us after you make your trip to Cleveland in the winter.
Well, you should join us on the trip to Cleveland.
You should.
You're invited.
Listen, I have done research after we read your article a couple days ago, and I do highly recommend them at GeekWire. You've done 3 of them. So we start with the idea of don't become Cleveland, and then the Cleveland mayor responds, and a conversation about what happens when a city's economic shifts. All of this at GeekWire, Charles Fitzgerald's work, commended because it is thoughtful. It's not biting. It has a sense of a looming and deep concern for the direction of the city using past history of mistakes made. And now you get a chance to meet with that mayor, who I thought was absolutely dynamic, caring, and thoughtful. He gets it. He doesn't. He's not grinding any axes on anybody.
Unlike Seattle, where we are a very prosperous city, he is having to play the game in difficult mode. It's just a much more uphill battle. And, we should avoid getting into that situation.
Yeah. Well, here it is again. Don't forget, Cleveland is rising.
The new center of the world.
Thank you, Charles.
Thank you.
Don't forget, new center of the world.
The #1 metro area. A great place to start a family.
A low cost of living and rich cultural scene.
So, yeah, this is Metropolis, the birthplace of Superman.
There you go. It's the birthplace of Superman.
State-of-the-art facility.
See you all in Cleveland, everybody. Here comes Nate with traffic to Cleveland. Nathan?
Seattle Sports has the update. Let's start you for those heading out toward Gig Harbor, westbound 16 at Olympic Drive, are dealing with pedestrians. They're waving big old signs on that overpass, and drivers are slowing down to check them out, and that backup now extends all the way to Jackson Avenue in Tacoma. In Parkland, eastbound 512, we're solid from I-5 past State Route 7. Now, as far as I can see, this is just volume, no blocking issues. Seattle to Federal Way is going to take you a half hour. Usual backups along South Center into Des Moines. Renton to Puyallup, southbound 167, plan on 40 to 45 minutes. North 5 in Seattle, our backup continues to thicken. It is now packed from the Michigan Curve across the Ship Canal Bridge. It's going to take you 45 minutes to make your way through downtown Seattle. Now, we cleared our stall from the express lanes at 80th. There's some good news for you, but it left you with a bumper-to-bumper backup starting near the south end of the Ship Canal. South 5, you're thick from the U District, 90. Linwood to Seattle, 25 minutes. Seattle to Everett, 40 minutes. Bellevue to Everett, you just hit 1 hour. It is solid from 520 to 522. From there, it's scattered backups to the Alderwood interchange. This report brought to you by Seattle Sports, and you can always listen to your favorite local sports content on the FM dial on 97.3 HD2. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
KIRO News Radio, is right there with you.
Thank you so much for hanging out with us.
On your smart speaker before you head out the door.
We continue to be in recovery mode on northbound I-5.
Watch live on YouTube or the KIRO Newsradio app.
Newfangled idea of having to see the people while they're talking.
The office, the gym, wherever you are.
Get on the YouTube channel. The whole gang's there.
KIRO News Radio. 97.3 FM, powered by MyNorthwest.com.
Hey, it's Jason Rance. I'm here with our local tax expert and advocate, Greg Nunn from None Better Tax Resolution. Last year, the big news, obviously, was the accomplishment of the big, beautiful bill, but that also comes with some big, beautiful changes to the IRS.
There are some big, beautiful changes going on, and so many of those changes in the big, beautiful bill impact 2025. There's definitely some big spiffs in there for the ordinary working person. One thing that I'm really disappointed in is the way that things have been communicated in regards to the Social Security. It is still going to be taxed. It's not like it's not going to be taxed, but it will be, for most people, a reduction in the amount of tax.
If you're having trouble with the IRS, then call Greg Nunn. None Better Tax Resolution. From stress to success with IRS Solutions. 425-947-1967 or Google NUNN. None Better Tax Resolution.
My perfect day has sand, salt water, and friends. But my moderate to severe plaque psoriasis can take me out of the moment. Now I'm all in with clearer skin thanks to Skyrizi. Risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection for adults who are candidates for systemic or phototherapy. With Skyrizi, most people saw 90% clearer skin, and many were even 100% plaque-free at 4 months. Skyrizi is just 4 doses a year after 2 starter doses.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions, increased infections, or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines.
Thanks to Skyrizi, there's nothing on my skin, and that means everything. Ask your doctor about Skyrizi, the #1 dermatologist-prescribed biologic in psoriasis. Visit Skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKYRIZI to learn more.
You're losing your hair and you simply need a solution that works. You want the best. Modern technology, top-rated physicians, something that's guaranteed to work. Guys, you need world-class Dr. Perungo and his team at Advanced Hair. Advanced Hair has completely redefined hair restoration. From the experience itself to their unmatched results. Receding hairline, bald spot, thinning hair, maybe all 3 like I had. Get your hair back with Advanced Hair's simple one-day treatment that begins to regrow your own natural hair the very next day. Advanced Hair has changed tens of thousands of lives, including mine. And get this, Advanced Hair is once again the winner of the 425 Business of the Year. For your free consultation, call 425-449-8185. Right now, you'll get $250 off and 250 free hair grafts. Refine your hairline with the team that redefined hair restoration. That's 425-449-8185. Or for the before and afters, visit advancedhair.com.
This might be the most surprising statistic I've shared in decades of doing local news. More than 75% of commuters will be involved in a car accident at some point. JP Pendergast of Pendergast Law with more.
What makes it more surprising? The average person will be involved in 3 to 4 collisions in their lifetime.
With accidents unbelievably prevalent, what are some safety tips if it happens to you?
Safety first. Secondary collisions are not uncommon while awaiting help. Turn on those hazards and remain in a safe place. If a bystander witnessed the accident, capture their information and encourage them to remain at the scene. Seek medical attention immediately if needed, as delaying can be a costly mistake. Lastly, remember that statements made to police and insurance adjusters can affect your case.
Collisions are more common than we'd like to think. If you find yourself in one, follow these helpful tips and then call my friends at Pendergast Law.
If you or a loved one's injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
PendergastLaw.com.
Guys, your testosterone level impacts your energy, drive, weight, hair loss, and even ED. Revive Men's Health Seattle will check your T level for free. For your free T level check, exam, and consultation, call 206-529-1111 or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
There we go. A lot of people responding. 1-888-973-5476. Our guest, Charles Fitzgerald, came in and Again, like Tiresias, the blind prophet. He's like, I'm telling you, I'm turning to Cleveland.
The history of how lucky Seattle has been with, Boeing and the container industry.
Yeah, get a fire and then rebuilding and all the rest of the stuff. Look at us. We're all learning something today.
Yes, we are.
If you'd like to learn more, please press 1. This is on a TikTok video. I guess was this a year ago this came up? I don't know.
That's what they just said. Yeah.
Yeah. But it's very helpful. If you're calling and you speak Spanish, you press 1 or press 2, and then you get the instructions in Spanish. So this is from the Washington Department of Licensing.
I just called the DOL, and they're like, press 1 for English, press 2 for Spanish. Standard, right? I press 2 for Spanish. I would like to speak to them in Spanish. Tell me why it stays in English but switches to a Hispanic accent.
It could be worse. It could be someone... What's the rule when you don't speak the language? Louder.
Oh, yeah.
Louder and slower.
Yeah, that would be worse.
It's like, press 2. What you need to do is fill out the form. Here we go. So she presses 2.
Except for numbers. The numbers are in Spanish.
Oh, okay.
So when you request Spanish on the DOL website, when you request Spanish, it stays in English, but just puts a Hispanic accent on.
Okay.
You have reached the driver licensing service line. If you are calling about a vehicle or boat, please press 1. Please press 1 for English. 2 para español. 3 для русского.
Okay.
So, thank you for calling the Department of Licensing Customer Support Center. For assistance with scheduling a driver licensing office appointment, canceling an existing appointment, or questions about an upcoming appointment, please press 1. All other callers, please stay on
Well, she got that.
Yeah.
the line. Thank you.
Not even gracias.
No.
Now what?
To better serve you, we'll need the last 4 digits of your social security number and your date of birth. If you have a valid Washington driver license or ID card and a social security number, press 1. If you do not have both of these, press the pound key.
How does this happen?
Yeah, explain that.
Last show, the hypothesis they had was that they had
there's another show on before this show?
There's a bunch of them, too.
And you listen?
A little bit.
Yes.
And their hypothesis was that they told AI to take a script and make it sound Spanish. And then maybe it pumped this out.
Yeah, because that was an AI voice.
A little bit, yeah. And it's just way too weird. It's like, why would they wouldn't possibly pass this to put it on there if somebody made when you're making this, you know that you're going to get in trouble for it. So if it's just something where you don't know what Spanish sounds like and you just tell AI to do it, it's like, whatever, just shove it up there.
Yeah, but do you think it wasn't done as a joke?
I don't think so.
No. So not translate it. So maybe somebody said, they put it out and then say, make it sound like Spanish.
Right. And then the AI just took that and put an accent on the script instead.
But then why does it do the numbers in Spanish?
Maybe probably that's where it
Call
put
it
a little
again.
leeway.
See if they fixed it.
No, they did fix it.
They did fix it? Okay.
Today, apparently.
Well, maybe press 3 if you'd like to hear it in a different accent.
Press 3.
No, but any accent. You could press 4 for Hindi or, you want to hear Irish or
Don't
German.
do it. You can do Irish. That's okay.
Oh, yeah. Oh, did we get the warning on the accents again? Good Lord. Yeah, you can do Philadelphia. It's okay to make Philadelphia.
Yep.
You can make fun of doing an Irish accent, but that's it. You don't only do any other accents.
No, there's a few more you can do.
Oh, you get the list of accents that I'm not allowed to do?
English is fine. Scandinavian, I believe, is okay.
You can't hold back a dynamic a dialect man like myself.
Nobody said anything. You're fine.
Okay, fine, Joe.
Months ago, I met the love of my life.
That's Joe. It's Norwegian. All right, here comes Nate checking traffic. Nathan.
That is not Norwegian, I can tell you that.
Yeah.
Hey, we're all clear northbound 3 at milepost 4, just north of Shelton, north of the city limits there. Gig Harbor, we're improving, westbound 16. It is still packed, though, from the west end of the Narrows Bridge up to Olympic Drive from an earlier collision. Also looks like those pedestrians have cleared the overpass, so drivers are no longer distracted. Tacoma to Olympia, we've gone up to 50 minutes. 3 mile backup along JBLM, more slowing between Lacey and Olympia. Renton to Puyallup on the Valley Freeway is a 40-minute drive. Bellevue to South Center is at a half hour. Now, you're packed from 520 through Factoria. Then you'll clear out pretty good, and then another back up there in South Center. North 5 is packed from the Michigan Curve to the Ship Canal Bridge. Give yourself 45 minutes to clear this. South 5 is packed from the U District to I-90. Linwood to Seattle, though, looking good at 25 minutes. And Bellevue to Everett's going to take you an hour this afternoon. It is solid from Kirkland all the way into Canyon Park now. And then we've got that North 5 back up through North Linwood to get through. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
KIRO News Radio, the first place you turn for the news you trust.
Seattle's new mayor is laying out a big vision.
She offered few specifics.
Engaging conversation.
Has anybody noticed their electric bill? It's diabolical, Ursula.
And your Super Bowl champion Seahawks.
They are bringing the Lombardi back to the Northwest.
Streaming everywhere on the KIRO News Radio app. Always here, always with you. KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM.
The first few steps that I took in the morning were pretty painful.
This is Carlos.
I mean, I had been told by multiple orthopedic surgeons that there was no alternative for me.
That wasn't what he wanted to hear. You see, Carlos is an active guy.
I played basketball, and for 3 to 4 days after, my knees would just be so swollen. And now I can play basketball, and there is no swelling. There is no pain in the knees.
No swelling, no pain, because Carlos went to see Dr. Mark Wagner, MD, at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine for stem cell therapy.
I'm just happy to be able to be out there. And then knowing that tomorrow I am not going to suffer for this.
What do you say to your friends and family who are in pain?
I say, I had horrible knee pain and stem cells really worked for me. You might want to go to Dr. Wagner, just get a consultation before you have surgery.
Consider stem cell therapy with Dr. Mark Wagner, MD, at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine. Schedule your consultation at drmarkwagnermd.com.
With Guardian Roofing Gutters and Insulation, maintenance is the key to a long-lasting roof. Need an inspection, repair, restoration, moss removal, or just a cleanup? Call us today. Our first-time customers can save $99. Visit us at guardianroofing.com.
This is Ricky Rubio, point guard for the Phoenix Suns.
And I'm Holly Robinson Peete, actor and along with Ricky, ambassador for Delivering Jobs. We know that a job is empowering and instills confidence. Yet 81% of adults with developmental differences don't have a paid job, even though companies that employ people with differences report better morale and higher productivity.
There are 6.5 million people in the U.S. with an intellectual or developmental difference such as autism.
And now, thanks to Autism Speaks, Best Buddies, the Holly Rod Foundation, and Special Olympics, there has never been more opportunity to improve hiring practices and build a more inclusive workforce. Join me, Ricky Rubio, and these amazing organizations in supporting and creating pathways to 1 million employment and leadership opportunities for this talented community.
Visit deliveringjobs.org to learn more.
That's deliveringjobs.org.
High five! Up top! Dave's company just got the 5-year price lock guarantee from Comcast Business. Yeah! It's 5 years of gig speed internet, advanced security, and a great rate that won't change. All from the company with 99.9% network reliability. Heck yeah! He hasn't given this many high fives since Deborah brought in her famous banana bread. Yes! The Comcast Business 5-year price lock guarantee. Powering 5 years of savings, powering possibilities.
And it's hurting, but I am not stopping.
Woo! For a limited time, now through March 29th, switch to Comcast Business to lock in your rate for 5 years and get a $500 prepaid card on a qualifying gig bundle. Or ask how to get started with 150 megabit internet and Security Edge for $59.99 a month for 12 months with a 2-year agreement. Don't wait. Call today. Restrictions apply. New customers only. 1-year contract required for guaranteed rate. Paperless billing and automatic payments with bank account required. 5-year pricing applies to monthly service charge excluding taxes and fees.
Ever wonder how much energy it takes to power your life? Streaming shows, running appliances, even using AI to plan your next trip?
A lot, and it's growing fast.
So we need more energy, and it has to be clean and reliable.
Exactly. That's why Energy Northwest is exploring new ways to keep power flowing sustainably to meet the rising demand.
All this new technology is exciting, but we need the energy to keep up.
And Energy Northwest is making it happen.
Where do I learn more?
Energy-Northwest.com.
Energy Northwest, powering our clean energy future.
G and Ursula on KIRO News Radio.
You're not going to be able to stop what's going to happen.
I hope he's successful.
9 to noon, streaming live on your smart speaker.
Albert Lee Appliance Clearance Center, opening soon in Kent, on the corner of 212th and West Valley Highway.
For more than 75 years, the VA Home Loan Benefit has helped millions of eligible veterans and service members achieve their piece of the American dream, a home for their families. Did you know that you could purchase a home or refinance your current home loan with your VA Home Loan Benefit? VA home loans have lower closing costs and generally enjoy lower interest rates than other borrowers. The VA Home Loan may save you thousands of dollars on your mortgage. For more information, visit www.va.gov or talk to a lender of your choice. Choose VA.
This is Chris Davis with the Davis Law Group. Did you know that a pedestrian does not have to be crossing the street on a marked crosswalk to have a successful legal claim against the driver? Pedestrians can even be partially at fault for a collision and still have a valuable claim. Call us today for a free consultation or get my free book on pedestrian accident law at WashingtonAccidentBooks.com. That's Davis Law Group, better service and even better results.
We're the home of your Super Bowl champion Seahawks.
They are bringing the Lombardi back to the Northwest.
KIRO FM and HD1 Tacoma, Seattle. This is CBS News on the Hour, your home for original reporting.
I'm Jennifer Kuiper. Former President Bill Clinton tomorrow will be deposed by the House Oversight Committee in its investigation into Jeffrey Epstein. This after his wife answered questions today for 6 hours. Details from CBS's Nicole Killian.
Former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton showed up for her deposition, firmly denying any connection to the late convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein.
I don't know how many times I had to say I did not know Jeffrey Epstein. I never went to his island. I never went to his homes. I never went to his offices.
But Secretary Clinton did have interactions with co-conspirator Ghislaine Maxwell.
What specific information do you believe she has that warrants her testimony?
Well, you'll see. We know that obviously Maxwell was a guest at Chelsea Clinton's wedding. There weren't many people that went to that wedding.
That's Republican Committee Chair James Comer. In a CBS News exclusive, we've learned that the Pentagon has sent AI startup Anthropic a letter with the government's best and final offer to use their technology. That's according to sources familiar with the discussions. Anthropic says it will not give the Defense Department unrestricted use of its technology. CBS's Jennifer Jacobs.
This is a real clash between an AI company, which is concerned about whether its own AI could potentially make mistakes that could put Americans at harm or do surveillance on Americans, and they want safeguards in place.
The Pentagon's top technology official tells CBS News it has offered compromises in order to reach a deal. The U.S. and Iran wrap up a third round of indirect nuclear talks in Geneva. CBS's Weijia Zhang.
Recently, the administration, including Vice President J.D. Vance, has said they've already seen evidence that after Operation Midnight Hammer, which the president says obliterated Iran's nuclear capability, they've already seen some evidence that Iran is trying to rebuild.
Iran's foreign minister says the latest round of U.S. talks were the most intense so far. The cleanup is still underway in Rhode Island several days after a blizzard. WADK's Bruce Newberry has more.
Reinforcements arrived to help dig out the state of Rhode Island from a record 37 inches of snow in the blizzard of 2026. Governor Dan McKee requested aid from surrounding states. Vermont was the first to answer the call.
14 employees that we've sent down, 5 of our big tandem dump trucks, 5 bucket loaders, and 5 20-ton trailers.
Vermont Agency of Transportation Administrator Greg Smith says the team is being deployed to 4 communities, including 2 teams to the city of Providence. Equipment, assets, and personnel are also arriving from Pennsylvania and Maine. Bruce Newberry for CBS News, Providence, Rhode Island.
This is CBS News.
The stars shine brighter on CBS Morning.
This is a slam dunk.
So cute.
Gail came in singing for me today.
On CBS Mornings.
Okay. Coming up, surviving family members talking about this week's fatal stabbing spree in Purdy. That's after Nate Connors at the traffic desk.
Let's start here in Seattle. North 5, we're packed from the Michigan Curve to the Ship Canal Bridge. 45 minutes now to make it through this backup. Northbound 99, you're bumper to bumper through that downtown tunnel. Now, South 5 looking pretty good. It does get packed there in the U District down to I-90. Linwood to Seattle, 25 minutes. You got a little crowding in Linwood adding to this. Crossing the lake from Bellevue, it's 35 minutes on 520. You're going to jam up open mid-span, 25 minutes on I-90, and it's crowded from Island Crest Way all the way over to I-5. Bellevue to South Center is a half-hour commute. You're jam-packed from 520 through Factoria, and then it clears out pretty quickly, and then another backup down at the Valley Freeway over to I-5 along South Center. Bellevue to Everett's going to take you an hour. It is packed from 520 to 527, extra thick through Kirkland. Seattle to Everett, just 40 minutes. Once you clear the Ship Canal Bridge, it's wide open until you get into Mount Lake Terrace, and then from there, it's just scattered backups through Linwood. Tacoma to Olympia, a 50-minute drive, 3 to 4 mile backup through JBLM, and another backup between Lacey and Olympia. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good evening, I'm Aaron Granillo. We are now hearing from some of the people who knew the man responsible for this week's deadly stabbing spree that killed 4 people in Purdy. Here's KIRO 7 TV's Jason Sloss.
He says the man responsible for the stabbings was just someone else when he was off his meds. He was dealing with personal matters, emotional issues, and for some reason just snapped as he left a home in Ording to go to his mother's place in Purdy.
It became clear to me Monday evening that he was not himself, and his sister identified it so fast. She knew, and she looked at me and she said, "That's not my brother. He has to go."
Well, he says the suspect was a nice guy, very close to his daughter, and that this was something that didn't need to happen.
Court documents say that man was off his medication. One of the victims was the suspect's mother. Deputies shot and killed that 32-year-old man. Auburn family is now desperate to find their 13-year-old son who left home in the middle of the night. Nolan Mays slipped out of his Lakeland Hills home on his bike just before 3 this morning. His mother, Christina, tells us Nolan is on the autism spectrum.
And he has selective mutism, which means he doesn't respond or talk to most people.
Nolan was caught on the family's Ring camera carrying a backpack, not wearing shoes. We have his picture on mynorthwest.com. Seattle police say a drunk 16-year-old boy shot up a Capitol Hill pizza parlor early this morning. KIRO News Radio's James Lynch has more.
Detectives say the boy was drinking with a fake ID at the Pizza Mart Bar and Grill on 11th Avenue. Security escorted him from the parlor, and once outside and in a car, police say he opened fire. SPD Detective Eric Munoz.
Multiple people on video surveillance were seen running and ducking for their lives. It's a miracle that none of them were actually shot.
Shortly after the shooting, police say the boy tried to carjack an Uber driver. He faces assault, robbery, and gun charges. James Lynch, KIRO News Radio.
1 month away now from opening day, the Mariners are one of the favorites to win it all this season. Center fielder Julio Rodriguez tells Brock and Salk on 710 Seattle Sports he's embracing the pressure of a World Series contender.
I mean, I feel amazing. I feel like, when I signed...
Does it burden you? Is it a...
No, it feels good, man. It feels good because this is what good teams do.
He believes the Mariners have all the pieces to go deep into the playoffs. The marathon season begins again 1 month away at home on March 26th. Now to your forecast, some light rain showers to the north, tapering off tomorrow, and we are in for a mainly sunny weekend with highs in the low 50s. Right now, 52 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with a KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Hi, you've reached the John Curley Show listener introduction line. Please tell us a little bit about yourself and why you enjoy the show. Thank you.
Okay. All right.
My grandma was a big fan of the show, and so I want to come, and it's special to me. So I'm just glad to be here.
All right, we're glad to have you here. Kaler or Carler or Caulk, whatever his name was.
Coddle.
All right. Here we go. All right. Let's get former congressman. Put a lot of formers in front of his name. Former sheriff. Still a friend of mine. Still look like a brick S house, that Dave Reichert. Man, golly, look at you. You wrote to me this morning, and I could tell when you're mad because there's not a lot of words, very short, there's no punctuation, and like you were chasing down those guys during the riots, right? The WGO riots. You are hot on the trail of, what is it, House Bill 2034.
Right.
What are they coming after, Riker?
Well, Curley.
Yeah.
They're coming after the Left One pension fund. And this is not the first time they've done this. They've tried this. It's the last 20 years. They have tried almost every year or every other year to come after this fund because it's been well managed and it has a little bit of buffer, a surplus in there. So, yeah, we're angry. The cops and the firefighters are upset.
So the quick history on it is, so it was set up for a certain number of firefighters and police. I think it was in 77 or something like that. You correct me on the years. And they said, okay, we're going to close it. So it's going to be just for this group, this population of police and fire. And it is what is known as a common law contractual pension, which means we are bound to you. We will pay you this, and this money will go into this fund, and we will take care of this pension. We cannot touch it. We won't do anything with it. It is yours, guaranteed. It is yours for life. So the folks in Olympia that don't have a revenue problem, they have a spending problem, they're looking around, they go, well, look at this. There's only a limited number of these firefighters, limited number of these police, and the thing is funded enough. There's enough money in them for there. It's going to take care of them for the rest of their life. So let's scoop off a big piece of it, and we'll just take it because they'll never need it because what they need is already there in the pension.
Yeah. Well, so this began in 1969. And in 1977, they closed the plan to just the group of people who were hired between those years. In 1977, they went to a new plan called Left 2. So Left 2 has the same agreement, only different benefits. And that's still in process today. There are still members working. Almost all the members now are Left 2 members. I don't know of any cops, Left 1 cops, that are still at work. There might be one or two in the state. I hope they have a desk job if they are.
Yeah.
But yes, this fund is protected by not only the United States Constitution, but the Washington State Constitution and fiduciary law. This is a closed system. The way I sort of look at it is that we are, and we all have been members of unions since the time that we started our employment. So it's almost a union contract, you know?
Yeah.
And these legislatures every 20 years have been coming back, trying to take the money, the surplus monies out of the funds. The thing that worries us is that as soon as they take $4 billion and this is over a period of time out of the fund, what happens when the stock market and we have a little bit of financial turndown and they don't have enough money to pay us in the future? There's only about 5,500 of us left alive receiving these benefits, along with the beneficiaries, the spouses, in most cases.
Well, I'm sure the bean counters looked at it and said, okay, that guy's going to die soon. That guy takes care of everybody. Right. There's enough to cover all the liabilities. Everybody's going to be all set. You don't need the extra, right? It's not. It's sitting there. It's not. And I think, as they say, it's not doing the taxpayers any good. So why not? If we've got that thing taken care of, then we'll just take the extra. But that would be a direct violation of the contract. And you could easily go to the Washington State Supreme Court. I'm sure they'd look at the Constitution and tear it up and come up with their own plan. So what's the next step? You're taking them to court?
Well, today we announced that, yes, that we are, if this bill becomes law, if the governor signs this into law, we are prepared to file a lawsuit. And we've done this before. Over 20 years ago, the same firm with Steve Berman filed a lawsuit, and the legislative body then just decided to drop the bill because they were told, look, there's no way you can win this. But they want the money so bad this time, they're just going to try to roll us for it. They tried to buy us off with some sort of an excess benefit payout, which would be minuscule, compared to our retirement and our medical benefits that we are receiving. But I hope you and the listeners just pause to think about this for a moment. I hired on back in the day when there weren't any bulletproof vests and you didn't have tasers And, you know, it was a sort of a more rough and tumble kind of an effort back in those days. And, you know, I'm dealing with a head-on car crash from a kid who decided to pass on a hillside, severe back pain, leg pain, numbness in my leg. It's stuff that mine is minor compared to a lot of the cops from injuries that they received. Some have PTSD, some are in nursing homes. The cost for our health care is only going to increase. We want to protect this fund so that we can know that we're taken care of. When they said this is your health care plan and this is your retirement plan, back when I got hired, there is a responsibility by this government to honor that contract.
Yeah, this particular contract, especially pensions, they're almost sacred. I looked online to see if states or cities have violated this, and immediately it is the third rail. I mean, first of all, unions, if they see it happen to the cops, or they see it happen to the firemen, you know, hey, what's going to stop them from coming to get ours as well? Because once they break open that dam and that money starts flowing in the direction. So this, you'll take it to them. You know, they've been looking like a bear going through the dumpsters. They've been looking at this for the last couple of years. But you think they're more emboldened this year than they have been in past?
Yes. Yeah. Well, they passed it in the House. So it went to the Senate today. They had a Senate committee hearing. I'm told from people who testified there that the attitude was, yeah, we're here to listen to you, but, you know, there's no hope of stopping this thing. So our belief is this law will pass the Senate. If there are any changes, of course, in the Senate, it has to go back to the House and voted on again by the House and Senate and then on to the governor. So this could take a little while. But if there are no changes, it'll go straight to the governor's office. And again, if it's signed, we are going to file a lawsuit.
Do you think, I don't know if you know the governor that well, I know it's funny, but no, if he's sitting there looking at this thing, he's not talking about just, you know, sort of, you know, numbers from something or, you know, millions of taxpayers or whatever. This is a small group of men and women that dedicated their life. They're willing to risk their life, run into a burning building, stop the guy with a gun. Their life could have ended in a minute or a second. And what he would be doing is signing, saying, you've got enough. Don't worry about it. We need, and I think this is the most insulting, the money would be redirected, $569 million, to the state's climate fund. Right? So don't forget the state of Washington. I just want to let everybody know the average temperature for the world in 2024 was 59.8. It came down. It's at 58. So I guess we're doing our fair share where the average temperature of the earth now is at 58 degrees. So I guess we've done enough, but they still want more because they want to take $500 million of your money that was promised to you and redirect it to Inslee and all of his buddies so they can waste it on programs that are completely absurd. So this should be an easy win for you politically. For the public should be able to understand you don't break the sacred promise of a pension.
Yeah, I think, you know, as they're doing some informal polls, it's like 99% of the people are supporting this law not moving forward. They're supporting the law enforcement officers and the firefighters now. These are all left one. They're all retired. There might be, as I said, one or two working in the state, both in the fire service and in the police departments. The rest of us, I might be one of the youngest ones in the left one system. So I'm 75. So if you're looking forward, I know some that are in their 90s. We're not going to last that much longer. So maybe if they had a little patience, they might be able to use those funds. But you know, it's just so insulting for these people to sit in their chairs in Olympia and decide that the climate change bill and the mistakes they've made in managing their own budget, our tax dollars, they want to take another $500 million to put toward the general fund and their budget deficit. They mismanage the funds, but yet they're going to take it, put it on the backs of not only taxpayers in this state, as we've talked about before a couple of years ago, but now on 5,500 retired spouses, retired police officers, and retired firefighters who are all experiencing some sort of a health issue as we get older.
Right.
A lot of it is related to their job.
So I would assume the next group in this, so there's LEOFF1, I would assume the people that are in 2 might rally around you and say, hey, guys, we got your backs, because we're not going to let that happen to you, because then they could come along and say, you get close to enough, or you'll be able to fund it later on. Cities and states have really run into a lot of problems when they mismanage these pensions. Luckily for you, they were all invested in assets that did quite enough of a return. But I would assume the next group of firefighters and police would say, no, we're holding the line for you. Are you getting that kind of support?
Well, what they tried to do was buy the left 2 officers off with what they call this excess benefit. So they offered them a big hunk of cash, each of them. That was supposed to be an amendment that was going to be offered today. That amendment wasn't offered. And I think what's happening is the left 2 officers are coming together with the left one officers. And I think, really teachers and other public employees should be concerned about this. So the TERS 1, and TERS 2, which are teacher retirements and benefits. Now you have PERS 1 and PERS 2, which are public employees. All of those organizations have their own closed system. So if they're coming after our money, they're going to come after yours too. And I think we should all be working together to overcome this.
Yeah. Well, I always like to say, when you rob Peter to pay Paul, you're not going to get many complaints for Paul. Because Peter's the one that's holding the bag. Well, former Congressman Dave Reicher, former Sheriff Dave Reicher.
I like that one.
You like that one as well?
Yeah.
And a friend of the people of Seattle. I want to thank you very much, not only for your time on the show, but I want to get a quick comment. I know that last time you and I had spoken about a particular organization, and I don't know if you're up to date recently on it, but this happened about like 8 or 9 months ago, maybe even during the spring of last year. It was a small little group, I think it's in Kent, Washington. They would take babies that had been born addicted to drugs. And they had been around for like 25 or 30 years. Doesn't have a big budget, but the city, the state, the babies go to these people and they rock them, they care for them, they help them go through the withdrawals of these drugs. And the folks in Olympia, when they were going through the lines, said, "Let's cut this program." Right? Yeah. Is it PIC? Was that what the?
The Pediatric Interim Care Center. Yes. Yeah, they have been in existence for a little over 30 years.
Yeah.
They took in drug addicted babies from all over the state, from hospitals that didn't have the time or the facilities really to care for them. And so that not only did they provide this loving care, but they also provide the medical services that are needed for these babies to overcome their addiction when they're born. They also work with the mothers and the fathers, if they're in the picture and want to reclaim their baby and help nurse the baby to health and nurse themselves to health and get off the drugs that they were addicted to. So they've done all those things, and the real tough part on this one is not only the loss of it's really a minuscule amount of funding from the state that they received, but it did help them maintain the services they provided.
Right.
The big deal is they have made it difficult for them to take children, even if they were able to raise money on their own from the private sector, because, John, they don't adhere to a lot of the woke policies in how you care for babies and mothers and fathers. And so because of that, because they were seen as working with Republicans, this is my own opinion.
Yeah.
You know, the director of the facility might tell you differently, but she was working with Republicans, especially me, and I think that's part of the reason that she's been closed down.
Well, she's working with babies.
Yep, working with babies. Yeah, and families and moms and dads. Yeah.
Well, I know you'll continue to be a strong force for good in the community. Thanks so much, Dave Reicher. Thanks for your time. Good luck with that lawsuit.
Thank you, John.
All right.
Thanks for having me on.
You're welcome.
Appreciate it.
You're okay. You got it. Here comes Nate checking traffic. Nathan.
All right, 45 minutes to make it through downtown Seattle on northbound I-5 because of a solid backup from the Michigan curve across the Ship Canal Bridge. Northbound 99 will save you some time, but it is packed from the stadiums to South Lake Union. South 5, we're thick at Northeast 50th in the U District to I-90. Linwood to Seattle, we're down to 20 minutes. Crossing the lake from Bellevue, 35 minutes now on both routes, 520 and I-90. Eastbound 90 at Island Crestway on Mercer Island, we've got a new crash blocking your left general purpose lane. You're backed up onto the Lake Bridge, almost to mid-span now. Bellevue to South Center, up a bit to 40 minutes. Jam-packed from 520 through Cold Creek Parkway, and then it thins out as you head into Renton, and then another pretty thick backup now along South Center. Renton to Puyallup has improved to just 35 minutes, and Seattle to Federal Way, less than a half hour. All that's left now is this brief backup from South 200th past State Route 516. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
KIRO News Radio, where you turn for the news you depend on.
Two competing budget proposals. Senators want to be aggressive, they say.
Traffic.
We have a stall on westbound 16.
Conversation.
If they pass this thing and Governor Ferguson signs it into law, I think there's going to be a mass political sea change in Washington State.
And your Super Bowl champion Seahawks.
They're bringing it home again.
Broadcasting live from the KIRO News Radio YouTube channel. KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM.
Jason Rance here with our local tax expert and advocate, Greg Nunn from Nunn Better Tax Resolution. So, Greg, not all tax resolution companies are the same. There are some that are definitely not local. There are others that don't quite know what they're doing even.
Well, I tell you, these ads that all of us hear, Fresh Start program, they make you feel like, hey, man, I can just easy peasy get my taxes written off. No. And I've had several clients actually come to me after going through that process, and they just get no response after a while. They're passed around from person to person. That doesn't happen at my firm.
You are familiar with the cases that come in. You're working on them.
I'm familiar with every case that comes into our office. And I know what's going on and have the ability to really advise our taxpayers very well on what to do.
If you're having trouble with the IRS, then call Greg Nunn. Nunn Better Tax Resolution, from stress to success with IRS Solutions. 425-947-1967 or Google NUNN. Nunn Better Tax Resolution.
It's frustrating. You work your tail off for 40 plus years. The government takes 30 or 40% in taxes. Then they turn right around and waste it. Americans are getting fed up, and that's why they're taking advantage of tax planning. Charlie Harger here. Tax planning could significantly reduce your taxes, not just for 1 year, but for the rest of your life. Learn how much you could save in taxes when you retire with free retirement tax savings analysis from Boss Retirement Solutions. If you've saved more than $300,000, schedule your free analysis now by calling 206-210-1350. Don't pay the government one more dime than you need to. You need to call the team at Boss Retirement Solutions. Call 206-210-1350. 206-210-1350.
For informational purposes only, actual results may vary. No statement contained herein shall constitute tax, legal, or investment advice.
If you're itching to get out in the garden and get your hands in the soil, check out Sky Nursery's schedule of gardening events to help you get ready for spring. Learn about fruit trees, roses, hanging baskets, and veggie gardening. Even a festival of willow. Details at skynursery.com.
Your new home is now ready. D.R. Horton, America's builder, has new homes that are ready today. With new construction communities throughout the Puget Sound and Central Washington areas and more coming, D.R. Horton has the right home for you. At D.R. Horton, we're still building with more construction, more communities, and more homes available every day. Find your new home, now ready at drhorton.com. That's drhorton.com. D.R. Horton, America's builder, an equal housing opportunity builder.
I'm worried.
About what?
Water.
Oh?
Hot water, if you really want to know.
Water heater worries?
Worried it's wearing down.
Running out?
The hot doesn't last like it used to.
So you're...
worried.
I got a guaranteed fix.
Let me guess. A new water heater.
Right, but...
That's what worries me.
Well, worry no more.
Why?
What you need is an Apollo Plumbing water water heater.
Because?
We include Wrenchie's worry-free warranty.
Wrenchie's what?
Worry-free warranty.
Which means?
When it wears out, we replace it.
No extra charge.
As an A-List Club member, you're covered for life.
For life.
For as long as you're an A-List member, you get annual life-extending water heater flushes included.
So it lasts longer.
Right.
And when it needs replacement,
you're covered.
With no worries.
Because it's Wrenchie's
worry-free warranty.
What else would you expect from the Ready Right Now plumbers?
Apollo Plumbing.
Home of Wrenchie's worry-free warranty.
What about tankless ones?
Worry-free too.
Gotta love that Wrenchie.
ApolloPlumbing.com.
Sometimes injuries can happen when you least expect them.
What broke my shoulder was reaching for my phone. I was trying to get the phone away from my cat.
That's how Heather tore her rotator cuff.
There was that hope. I was like, maybe this will heal on its own. And I waited a little bit, and it was not getting better.
She just couldn't take the pain anymore, so she saw Dr. Mark Wagner, MD, at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine for stem cell therapy.
By the next day, my shoulder was already doing better. I have my arm back again, which was just wonderful.
Seems like she made the right choice.
I'm so glad I didn't do surgery.
So whether it's a hip like mine or a shoulder, elbow, ankle, wrist, or knee, before choosing surgery, see Dr. Mark Wagner first. He's the most experienced in the Northwest with over 20,000 stem cell procedures. Go to drmarkwagnermd.com.
I said to him at our last appointment, I was like, you better not retire because I want to know if anything else goes wrong with my body. You're there to be able to fix it because he's a miracle worker.
Oh, could this vintage store be any cuter?
Right? And the best part? They accept Discover.
Accept Discover? In a little place like this? I don't think so, Jennifer.
Oh, yeah, huh? Discover's accepted where I like to shop. Come on, baby, get with the times.
Right, so we shouldn't get the parachute pants?
These are making a comeback. I think.
Discover is accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide. Based on the February 2025 Nielsen report.
Hi, I'm Michael from the War and Treaty. You know the jingle. Now discover the facts about Ozempic, a GLP-1. Only Novo Nordisk makes FDA-approved Ozempic. Learn about the real thing.
Talk to your healthcare professional today. Call 1-833-OZEMPIC or visit Ozempic.com to view the medication guide and to learn more about Ozempic. Semaglutide injection 0.5 milligram, 1 milligram, and 2 milligrams.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good evening, I'm Aaron Granillo. The Washington House Majority Leader is offering an apology today after admitting he attended a committee meeting after he'd been drinking. Video shows Representative Joe Fitzgibbon slurring his words at times. Republican Michelle Valdez tells Seattle Reds Jason Rantz.
Something that I had heard from a number of members was that they believed that he'd been drinking and they could smell the alcohol. I could not smell any alcohol.
Fitzgibbon says he made a poor choice and that he is disappointed in himself. Read more about it on SeattleRed.com. The mayor of Everett issues a directive regarding ICE enforcement in her city. Cassie Franklin is restricting federal immigration agents from using non-public areas of city buildings without a warrant.
Federal immigration enforcement is causing real fear for Everett residents. It's been heartbreaking to see the racial profiling that's having an impact on Everett families and businesses.
Now, Franklin also says she expects officers to intervene when they witness ICE agents using unnecessary force. More than 55,000 pounds of blueberries are being recalled because of possible listeria contamination.
The Oregon Potato Company first issued the recall on February 12th, but the FDA has since upgraded it to a Class 1, labeling the product a serious health risk that could lead to death. The frozen blueberries were not sold in stores, but instead were shipped in bulk to distributors here in Washington, as well as Oregon, Michigan, Wisconsin, and Canada. If you think you got sick, you're urged to call the FDA's emergency line or file a MedWatch report online. There's more information on all this posted at mynorthwest.com. Frank Lindsay, KIRO News Radio.
Our state's top seismologist says our region is much better prepared for a major earthquake than it was nearly 25 years ago. That's when the Nisqually earthquake hits. Harold Tobin is director of the Pacific Northwest Seismic Network, says there is still a long ways to go to upgrade buildings.
Especially, unfortunately, the historic older buildings. Anything that was built of
brick or stone, those are potentially an issue, and they have to be retrofitted, and some have been, but many have not around the region.
This Saturday will mark the 25th anniversary of the 6.8 magnitude Nisqually quake. Now to the real-time traffic desk. Let's check in with Nate Connors.
All right, Aaron, our biggest backup right now is through Seattle. It's North 5. In fact, 45 minutes to make it through downtown Seattle on northbound I-5. Your solid backup starts just around that Michigan curve across the Ship Canal Bridge. Northbound 99, again, a good viable option for you, but it is packed from the stadiums up to South Lake Union. South 5 is packed in the U District and near 50th down to I-90. Linwood to Seattle will take you 20. Crossing the lake from Bellevue to Seattle right around 30 to 35 minutes on both routes. 520 jams up mid-span to I-5. I-90 is slow from the Mercer Lid to I-5. Now, eastbound 90 at Island Crest Way, we have this crash blocking your left general purpose lane. We're now backed up bumper to bumper inside the Mount Baker Tunnel. Bellevue to South Center is a 35-minute drive, jam-packed from 520 to Cold Creek Parkway. From there, it thins out. You're not in the clear till you get into Renton, and then we're starting to clear out pretty quickly now in South Center. Bellevue to Linwood, 35 minutes, bumper to bumper through Kirkland. At Northeast 85th, this thing thins out pretty quickly for you as you head into Canyon Park. And Seattle to Linwood's at 25 minutes. Once you get over the Ship Canal Bridge, you're pretty clear until you get into Mount Lake Terrace, and then from there, scattered backups through Linwood. KIRO News Radio real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
Some light rain showers to the north. They will taper off into tomorrow. Some snow showers, though, continuing along Stevens Pass and Mount Baker into early tomorrow, turning mainly sunny this weekend. Right now, 52 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Where's Teeny?
I haven't seen her.
Who's going to spin the thing? Teeny?
She's getting drunk with Joe Fitzgibbons.
Is Joe still going on? Let's just check in on him, see where he is on this. I know he's in the middle of this speech, apologizing to everybody.
We're in a particularly hard time right now for many reasons, but more than anything because of the expenses that we have been sent our way from Washington, D.C. Those are tough things that we are grappling with. But we also have, I think, through this budget shown that in spite of those incredible challenges, in spite of those incredible expenses that Washington state taxpayers are now being asked to bear,
the taxpayers of Washington.
We have still managed to put forward a budget that prioritizes the people of our state.
Yeah.
In K-12 education.
Teachers unions, thank you so much. Thank you.
And, you know, I don't know that there's any
and businesses,
here
the B&O tax.
Think of a lot of things that we would have liked to see funded.
Yeah, we'll be more spending. We're going to invest more of your money because don't forget, we are your partner.
I am grateful to all the members of this committee and all the members.
All right. Wilcox Family Farm eggs. There we go. All right, fine, Dandy. The Wilcox Family Farm eggs. If we don't have Teeny left, we can't think that she took the spinner with her.
It happens.
All right. She's hurting the show.
Agreed.
Which isn't hard to do. Bill Gates apologizing to the foundation over the Epstein ties to Wall Street Journal. I think this has got like about 2-3 days of news out of it. He has basically admitted to, yes, I got a thing for Russian women. And he's sort of said that.
But that is in direct conflict with what he said about a week ago.
Oh, here we go. Little rabbit foo-foo going down into the rabbit hole here. I sent you that. You little rabbit foo-foo. This is you, Joe. You're like little rabbit foo-foo. Okay. You know little rabbit foo-foo?
Little bunny foo-foo hopping through the forest.
Oh, bunny.
Scooping up the field
rabbit.
popping them on the head.
Yeah.
This is the move, though. They admit.
Here we go.
They admit what they can prove at the time. So as soon as anything else comes out, suddenly I've got to amend my statement.
So here's Joe's evidence. 2 weeks ago, Bill Gates gave an interview to an Australian broadcast claiming that the Epstein's emails about him were absolutely false.
I met Jeffrey in 2011. The focus was always he knew a lot of very rich people, and he was saying he could get them to give money to global health. In retrospect, that was a dead end, and I was foolish to spend time with him. I was one of many people who regret ever knowing him. No, apparently Jeffrey wrote an email to himself.
Okay, and then what are you saying? So that was 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
And then?
And now he's saying, oh, no, I had affairs with 2 Russian women, one of which I met through Jeffrey Epstein. The other one I just met, it was a big, climate event or something.
Uh-huh. Okay, so
he's lying again.
Well, no. He didn't deny having affairs.
He denied that he met anybody through Jeffrey Epstein. He said if you play the rest of the clip.
All right, hang on there, bunny foo-foo.
That email was never sent. The email is...
But the email he's talking about is an email where Epstein wrote it to himself but didn't send it, saying, Bill had an affair with a Russian woman and contracted a venereal disease. Mm-hmm. He wants to know if Epstein can get him some, I guess, antibiotic or whatever, that he could surreptitiously administer to his wife without her knowing.
Right.
That's the email, which he never sent. So Bill was saying, anybody can write an email, but
Roll
he didn't.
The clip.
False. So I don't know what his thinking was there. It just reminds me, every minute I spent with him, I regret and I, apologize that I did that. It's factually true that I was only at dinners. I never went to the island. I never met any women. And
lies,
so, the more it comes out, the more clear it'll be that although the time was a mistake, it had nothing to do with that kind of behavior.
I think what he meant to say is, I never met any American women.
Now do Howard Lutnick, John, the current Secretary
Where
of
you have
Commerce.
Lutnick?
I don't
Where's
have him
he?
in there.
Oh,
I don't
okay.
have him in there, but there's a picture of him on Epstein. Remember what he said last time?
I don't know. I never. I took my family, my wife, my kids, my nannies.
Right.
And
we were in the area.
Right.
We were driving by, but we stopped
and about
by.
4 pounds of Cialis, and I went to the island.
Right. That was his amended statement after saying, I met him once in 2005. He disgusted me, and me and my wife agreed I would never be in the same room with him again.
Right.
Then the files released. Oh, right. No, I went to the island one time with my wife and my 8 kids, and because that's what the emails prove. He actually talked about that particular visit.
Yes.
Now today,
there's a new one today.
There's a new picture. It's Jeffrey Epstein. It's Howard Lutnick. It's 3-4 other men on the island. His wife and his 8 kids aren't anywhere to be seen.
Is he wearing a Tommy Bahama shirt?
Pretty much, and some white shorts. So he has a new statement he's going to have to give to explain that picture, which the DOJ took down today, but everybody got it before.
But wait
they
a
did.
minute. The picture is he's on the island.
Yep.
With Epstein. He did go to the island. He said he went to the island.
He went to the island once for a brief period of time because his boat was nearby with his wife and
4 children and his 2
8
nannies.
kids
Yes.
and 2 nannies.
Yeah.
I don't see any kids. I don't see any nannies. I see Epstein. I see Lutnick, and I see 4 other dudes.
Could there be another picture with his family in it?
Yes. Could there, Joe?
Maybe, possibly.
I rest my case, Your Honor.
But he's going to have
no
to
further
amend his
questions.
statement. They're all liars, every single one of them.
Okay. Do you want to hear from Hillary Clinton?
Sure.
All right. So Hillary today deposed behind closed doors. She spoke afterwards.
Based on what I knew, and what I knew is what I said in my statement this morning. I never met Jeffrey Epstein, never had any connection or communication with him. I knew Ghislaine Maxwell casually as an acquaintance. But whatever they asked me, I did my very best to respond.
Okay. So
That's us.
Hot sauce. So she said, I've never met him.
Yep.
All right. Hillary Clinton is very, very good at lying. And when she doesn't lie, she says, I don't recall, which I think when she was deposed during the Benghazi, I think it was 124 times or 147 times, I don't recall. And she's also really good at bleach, bait, the cleaning of software with cell phones and everything else. So she must know. When she says, I never met him, she knows there's no evidence that they can say, oh, ha, well, what about this? Here's a photo of you and Epstein or you. And she said she never met him. Maybe there's some emails and stuff, so maybe she never met him. Now, her husband, on the other hand, he's got some explaining to do.
Oh, does he?
Okay, so do you have anything you want to play? Cue the music for Joe on this one. We'll see if Bunny Foo-Foo goes into the rabbit hole in this one.
About Clinton's deposition tomorrow?
Anything about Hillary?
No, I don't have any. I don't have anything other. She said that Ghislaine was a casual acquaintance, but she was at her daughter's wedding, which seems, I don't know. I guess people invite casual acquaintances to their children's weddings sometimes, but that's all I got. I haven't seen anything else on Hillary.
Okay, all right. You're gonna rest your case on that one. You're gonna wait for more.
I'll just wait.
You know, so funny. This, and I'm saying to you this both on air as our personalities are, which don't change much off air. This whole thing in the last 3 weeks has changed you.
Yeah.
That when the first thing dropped, the 3 million files came out in February. What was that? Friday, about 3 weeks ago.
Friday, February 3rd.
You have become not sullen, but so much more cynical of almost everything.
Yeah, and I was cynical to begin with, but now
it's a whole new level.
A whole new level,
cynicism.
and I'm furious. I'm angry.
Okay.
California Joe is gone.
Yeah, dude. You should be like a hippie like me, man.
I am a hippie.
Where's California Joe? I miss California Joe.
Burn it down first. Burn it down first.
Don't you miss him too, Nate?
Yeah, I do. You really have changed a lot in the past couple of weeks.
Yeah, Are you
sleeping at night? Or?
Yeah, sleeping great. It's awesome.
Have you spent any time with like some special things that can be produced in a lab recently?
As a matter of fact.
Yeah, just like maybe draw something. I don't know, whatever. Okay. All right. Here comes Nate checking traffic. Nate on.
Thank you, sir. Mercer Island, we've got a big collision eastbound 90 at Island Crestway, now blocking 2 left lanes. You're backed up bumper to Rainier Avenue. Plan on 40 minutes now from Seattle to Bellevue. Crossing the lake coming the other way, Bellevue into Seattle. We're down to a half hour on 520, 25 minutes on I-90. 40 minutes through downtown Seattle, northbound I-5. It's solid now approaching the West Seattle Bridge across the Ship Canal Bridge. Northbound 99 remains bumper to bumper through the downtown tunnel. South 5 is thick in the U District to I-90. Linwood to Seattle got up a few minutes to 25 minutes because we have another backup in Shoreline developing approaching 145th. I'm not seeing any blocking issue here from my camera angle. Bellevue to South Center 40 minutes. Bellevue to Linwood 35 minutes. Seattle to Linwood just 25 minutes. Once you get over to the Ship Canal Bridge, it's wide open until you get into Linwood. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
Choke Points with Chris Sullivan.
With Choke Points, we try to answer listeners' questions. It can be as simple as a neighborhood stop sign, or it can be as big as the budget for transportation. I don't care. I'll find the answer for you. It's really easy to get a hold of me at mynorthwest.com. We have a direct link there that gets right to me. You can also do it in the app. You can hit me up on the text line.
Choke Points, presented by Carter Subaru. Tuesdays and Thursdays on KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM.
Hey, it's Jason Rance. I'm here with our local tax expert and advocate, Greg Nunn from Nunn Better Tax Resolution. What is something someone can do right now to protect themselves from being on the wrong side of the IRS?
It's really pretty simple, and that is do it right. File on time and pay on time. Yet things do get in the way, like we know. And if you have situations where you're feeling a little concerned about what's in your tax return, get some professional help. And there is a group or a class of people that just think they can put anything they want in their tax return. And they think they are being smarter than the government. It's kind of like the person, the narcissist that thinks they're smarter than everybody else and they're going to get away with it. They will maybe for a while, but the time will come. There will be a day of reckoning.
If you're having trouble with the IRS, then call Greg Nunn. Nunn Better Tax Resolution. From stress to success with IRS Solutions. 425-947-1967. Or Google NUNN. Nunn Better Tax Resolution.
Jen, I didn't know you shopped here.
Hey, I'm hunting for something fresh for spring.
Oh, girl, skip them all. Jewelry Television has the best spring looks right now.
JTV, way ahead of you. Just hit up JTV.com yesterday. Scored the cutest clover earrings, 2 tennis bracelets, and this gorgeous pearl ring.
Right now, new customers get $20 off any purchase of $99 or more at JTV.com.
Oh, and gold hoops and this turquoise bracelet.
Just a couple things, huh?
Maybe more than a couple.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/radio. That's ethos.com/radio. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Jackson Hewitt handles your taxes and your stress. Inhale our no surprise price of $149 or less. Exhale, paying more for complicated taxes. You won't. Inhale new tax law knowledge. Exhale, missing out on your biggest refund? Certainly not. Don't miss paying $149 or less. Rest easy. Jackson Hewitt's got your taxes. Guaranteed. Limited time offer for new clients on federal returns. Participating locations only. Terms at jacksonhewitt.com/149.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group. Did you buy a timeshare because they told you it was a great investment? That's a lie. Most timeshares can be bought online for $1. To find out what your timeshare is worth and to cancel it, call us today and we'll send you our timeshare exit kit free with all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley for your free exit info guide. 800-771-1300. That's 800-771-1300.
Guys, your testosterone level impacts your energy, drive, weight, hair loss, and even ED. Revive Men's Health Seattle will check your T level for free. For your free T level check, exam, and consultation, call 206-529-1111 or visit revivemenshealth.com.
The John Curley Show mailbag is brought to you by Advanced Hair Restoration.
Thank you, Sean. All right. Hudson, I think you got a song for us. There you go. As you can see.
I'm a mailman to be mess with me. I'm a mailman. Everything no. I'm a mailman. Bring the mail
to your door. All right, get the letter today. First, take care of all the rest. Joseph.
Dennis in Seattle says, is Chris Daniels from Como News really a senior reporter? Do you guys really like Cleveland? I was thinking.
I'll go give a gong on that one. Fernando in Seattle, Michael Curley is a good man. Radio, John Curley, I don't know sometimes.
Janet Kirkland says, hey, KIRO, are you ever going to add closed captions to your YouTube? It helps the spelling is to see the spelling of names in your news. Also, the listener comments have been removed. Please advise.
What?
That's not true. Well, not today.
Let's see. Mike in Portland, John, Joe deserves a raise.
Hey, I'll take it. 509 says, hey, John, I just want to give you a shout out because of you. When I'm passing on I-90 through Cle Elum, I stop in the Clum instead of North Bend or Ellensburg for my snacks.
Thank you. And don't forget, you want to go to Thai. I can never lashes. I can remember the name of the Thai restaurant.
Wow, good plug.
Heard it. Move on. It's right there on the left side before you get to Mike's. All right. Let's see. Moses in 509 says, Joe is awesome. Keep it up. What all the love for JoJo all of a sudden? Keep it, JoJo.
I mean, you get bored enough, you're going to be making babies.
Okay, moving on.
He was talking about Epstein. Rihanna in Arlington on Bill Gates says, Bill meant to say, I never met any children. Barf. Also, this stuff should change you.
Okay, Brian from Arlington on our drunken representative. Ha, 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 ha. It's about enjoying life and the little things in life.
Trucker Robert in Puyallup says, hey, John, Fitzgibbons, he meant, may be done with alcohol for the session, but marijuana is still legal, and who knows, maybe next time it'll be meth or coke.
Oh, wow. Okay, Trucker. Let's see, Seattle versus Cleveland. Bruce in Capitol Hill says, John, that was a fantastic interview. Thank you so much.
Marshall in Nevada says, born and raised in Cleveland suburbs. Left there in 74, never been back. It's a great place to be from.
Ooh. Cleveland has way better pizza than Seattle. It's not a high bar, but it's not even close. Good to know.
425 says, this city is a corporation, so to speak. It needs to be needs fiscally wise people to run it as opposed to the flavor of the month yahoos.
Leslie in Seattle says, we don't need a big boy team. We need a big girl team. Melinda Gates and Mackenzie Scott Bezos. Okay.
Skagit Thaddeus said, I said the same thing. It needs to be the ex-wives club. We need ex-Bezos and ex-Gates to get together and buy the team.
Pension poaching Rick in the 253 says, we will rally. It's happening now. We are not buying the offer. Oh, okay.
206 says, besides my husband and Harrison Ford, Dave Reichert is the best-looking man over 55. Thanks for having him on. We voted for him.
Yeah. Ted from Tacoma says, if you want an example of mismanaged pension funds, look back a few years ago in the state of Illinois. They went almost bankrupt.
Justin in Ravensdale says, the Alaska IBEW 1547 pension was overfunded for years, and it's still doing great. What they did was give the retirees an extra check in December. This happened multiple years. The state should not get this money.
Rick in 253 weighs in with been in the black for decades due to good stewardship. Teachers tried to hop on years ago as well.
Paul in Linwood says, John, if the millionaire tax passes, would you consider leaving Washington?
No, because I don't make $1 million yet.
Let me take this one. On the DOL Spanish accent, Paul in Sammamish says, press 4 to hear John Curley pronounce the number 4.
4. Jim in Everett says, hey, no accents.
3 months ago, I made the biggest mistake of my life.
Josh in Auburn says, it doesn't even sound like an English person speaking with a Spanish accent. It sounds like an Indian call center person speaking in Spanish or trying to.
So confusing. Woody in 206 says, we've all been duped. That's a Filipina accent, not Hispanic.
I actually agree with it.
They're Teeny's drinking on the job. That's what happened there.
Elliot in Seattle says, I can't believe I took the time to write a brilliant text. Some are saying the greatest ever, and it doesn't even get read. Instead, we get 8 insightful, creative, and original I Hate Trump texts. He sent one yesterday. I told him it'd be letter of the day, and I forgot about it because we got busy.
To celebrate.
Here it is. We're talking about AI and all that stuff. Anything you can do, AI can do better. AI can do anything better than you. No, you can't. Yes, AI can. Potato. I think there it is.
That's good. All right.
Wonderful.
There is good. Well done.
That's all
there.
she
You happy now? Are you happy?
Didn't ride no more.
Stupid. This thing you're going to keep breaking. There he goes. All right. Now I can hear myself like anybody else wants to. Let's do another hour. Here comes Nate checking traffic. Nathan.
Thanks, John. KIRO Newsradio App has the update. We've got a big problem on Mercer Island, eastbound 90 to Island Crest Way. It's crash blocks 2 left lanes. Your bumper-to-bumper backup now starts all the way here in Seattle at I-5, 45 minutes from Seattle to Bellevue. Crossing the lake from Bellevue to Seattle, half hour on 520. You do have a solid backup from mid-span to I-5, 25 minutes on I-90. It's crowded from Island Crest Way over to I-5. 40 minutes through downtown Seattle on northbound I-5. It's still solid approaching the West Seattle Bridge across the Ship Canal. Northbound 99 is thinning out, but we're still heavy through that downtown tunnel. South 5 is thick in the U-District to I-90. Linwood to Seattle, a 25-minute commute. More crowding to get through in Shoreline. Bellevue to South Center, 40 minutes. We're jam-packed from 520 to Cold Creek Parkway. And then from there, you're going to thin out as you head into Renton. We're clear now in South Center. Seattle to Federal Way, a 25-minute drive. It's bumper-to-bumper from South 200th past State Route 516. And Tacoma to Olympia, we're looking good at 35 minutes. Text app to 888-973-5476 to download the KIRO News Radio app. Listen to your favorite shows and get the latest news and updates sent straight to your phone. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
Choke Points with Chris Sullivan.
With Choke Points, we try to answer listeners' questions. It can be as simple as a neighborhood stop sign, or it can be as big as the budget for transportation. I don't care. I'll find the answer for you. It's really easy to get a hold of me at mynorthwest.com. We have a direct link there that gets right to me. You can also do it in the app. You can hit me up on the text line.
Choke Points, presented by Carter Subaru. Tuesdays and Thursdays on KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM.
So, what are you reading?
I'm checking out the ratings on the new TVs, and it looks like Samsung, LG, and Sony got the best scores.
Just like last year. What about those new high dynamic range TVs?
They got the highest scores of all, but their prices are really high.
Did you check online?
Yeah, their prices were about the same.
Well, there's one place where we can get a hot deal on those top-rated models.
Where?
At Video Only. Check out the ratings on TV stores.
I see. Video Only scored better than the others.
So, if you want the best deal on the best TVs,
then we should take our TV ratings and head over to top-rated Video Only.
At Video Only, you won't find huge stores with refrigerators or microwaves, but you will find the best deals on top-rated TVs, soundbars, and monitors. Shop around. Just make sure you visit Video Only, because if you don't,
you'll be sorry.
In South Center, Bellevue, Linwood, Federal Way, and Tacoma, Video Only.
Choke Points with Chris Sullivan.
With Choke Points, we try to answer listeners' questions. It can be as simple as a neighborhood stop sign, or it can be as big as the budget for transportation. I don't care. I'll find the answer for you. It's really easy to get a hold of me at mynorthwest.com. We have a direct link there that gets right to me. You can also do it in the app. You can hit me up on the text line.
Choke Points, presented by Carter Subaru. Tuesdays and Thursdays on KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM.
Why does it matter to members that Aetna was named a Best Medicare Advantage company by U.S. News & World Report? Because they chose a plan that gives them real support, real people, and real care. We show up with care management that ensures doctors work together on complicated conditions. We show up with the latest in online tools to make healthcare easier to use anytime. We don't show up for awards. We show up for you. And showing up for you is how healthier happens together.
It's clogged again.
Your drain?
Just had it cleared.
You didn't call Apollo Plumbing.
How can you tell?
Because your drain's clogged again.
So frustrating.
We can clear that drain.
That's what the last guy said.
We'll clear it, guaranteed.
He said that too.
Apollo Plumbing will clear your drain or it's free.
Wait, what?
Apollo Plumbing clears your drain.
Or it's free?
Yep.
What's the catch?
No catch.
Fine print?
Apollo Plumbing clears your main drain for $83.
$83 or it's free?
And we'll even give you a camera inspection.
Because?
It's the best way to find what's causing your clog.
But that's extra.
Nope. Included.
No extra charge?
Not 1 cent.
$83 or it's free.
All it takes is an accessible outside cleanout.
And an Apollo plumber.
No clog is safe from Apollo Plumbing.
And just like that, my main drain is...
draining again.
How can you...
Apollo plumbers are that good.
$83 or it's free.
You call, we come.
My drain's draining again.
Guaranteed.
$83 or it's free.
As it should be.
Apollo Plumbing.
ApolloPlumbing.com.
The G and Ursula Show.
If you want to see what I'm wearing today, check out Mrs. Roper.
Weekdays 9 to noon.
A moo-moo is like a bank. You never know how much is in it.
On KIRO News Radio and the KIRO Newsradio app.
We just want to have enough money for retirement.
And travel to visit our grandchildren.
I understand. That's why at Fisher Investments, we start by getting to know each other, so I can learn about your family, lifestyle, goals and needs, allowing us to tailor your portfolio.
What about commission-based products?
We don't sell those. We're a fiduciary, obligated to act in your best interest.
So how do your management fees work?
We have a simple management fee based on the value of your portfolio, so we do better when you do better.
We appreciate that kind of transparency.
We also check in with you regularly to keep you up to date on the markets and your portfolio.
Well, what other services do you offer?
As a client, you have access to resources on investing, financial planning, estate planning, Social Security, Medicare, and more.
Wow, sounds like Fisher Investments has everything we need.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at FisherInvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
Best Mortgage is proud to be the longest-running mortgage company on KIRO Radio. For 34 years, they've been giving honest advice you can trust as your VA loan and reverse mortgage experts and debt consolidation specialists, too. Just web search Best Mortgage.
Your best source for local news. KIRO News Radio. KIRO FM and HD1 Tacoma.